What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. Welcome to Rockin Robbie Live here on a Sunday night. It's Sunday, December 12th, 2021 to be exact. Welcome to another episode of Rockin Robbie Live. We took a week off, but we're back. This is the show where we talk about comics, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. In fact, it's the official after party of the Blame Fable show on Instagram. And if you haven't checked that out, another fantastic episode from Fable, Big Herm, Missing Link, and their special guest, Nick from Comic Culture. Fantastic show. One of the mods dropped a link to Fable's Instagram so they can check it out. It eventually drops on YouTube. How is everybody doing? Super excited to see y'all. We got a lot planned tonight. First of all, we're going to be talking about our favorite comic books of last week. We'll be looking ahead at what's coming up in comic shops this week, including the DC sneak peek. I'll be talking about Kung Fu Hustle, the latest in my Kung Fu movie journey, directed by Bullseye Bob. Let's just say that, right? And then I'll be talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife, because we talked about it. I watched it and want to talk about it. We got a DC in the 80s holiday-themed episode, and then we got top 5 movies of 1971, show and tell, and a whole lot more. A fantastic show tonight, but remember, this show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. Get them in right now. What do you want to talk about? But I do want to say this. Follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, you might as well join the PCP Army. It's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on Twitter, follow me there at the Rockin Robbie. And check us out at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts, blogs, and a whole lot more. We haven't done a blog in months. I need to put something else in that little bit. Anyway, also, for real, if you want to support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP Patreon patriots right there. Or you can drop a super chat, like Lee D did. We'll get to that in just a moment. But what do we got coming up here on this week? Let's talk about it. First of all, visit dynamicforces.com, enter Robbie at your cart. You'll receive 10% off. But do join me tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Central Time over at the Experience when I'm joined by Rex and John from Dynamite Entertainment / Dynamic Forces. They got a lot of good books for sale. Lots of cool conversation. Friday night, PCP Movie Night, the final one of the year. We've been going through unconventional renditions of A Christmas Carol. This week, we're talking about one of my favorites, Scrooged. And then over at Dylan's Horror Show on Saturday night, join us for Better Watch Out. This is from 2016. I hear it's really, really good. Very excited to check it out. I will also say that you can check me out over at the Lost in Comics channel on Thursday night, where I'm doing a year-end wrap-up video with quite a few people. It's a really fantastic lineup there, so we appreciate that. And speaking of appreciation, I appreciate everybody watching right now, and I really appreciate Lee for that super chat. Thank you so much, homie. Whoa, whoa. Don't you know, don't you know? Lee wants to start big, we start big. Let's do it, everybody. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nun who had sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil and monsters. Shit. And he fights with a man who's a fish named Abe. Now he fights with a fire starter named Liz. and an ectoplasmic mess named Johann. BPRD. Ba-da-dun-dun-dun. Bum-ba-dum-bum-bum. Ba-da-dum-dum. Station. Bum-ba-da-dum-bum. Dun-dun-dun-dun. That's Wesley Snipes. So what is up, everybody? Welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers. Welcome to Rockin Robbie Live. Let's see who's in the chat tonight. We got White Tiger, Cool, Calm, Collected, Station, and Cowabunga. We got Billy Powermax. Congratulations to Rockin Robbie for 100 upcoming events on YouTube. Okay. And congratulations to Rockin Robbie for 100 stations on YouTube. Bruh, I am way beyond 100. Come on. Come on. Joram says, Shazam, swish, kermash, tune in, Station, Rockin' Robbie on a Sunday. Flip it to him. Station, Joram. CMA Thunder's in the house. Nick, Comic Culture, fantastic show tonight, my friend. That's 8.0 Nick, everybody. I'm 4.0 Robbie. That's 8.0 Nick. Then we got Fargate. What's up, buddy? By the way, everybody, it wasn't pretty at fucking all. But how about them Cowboys? Win's a win, 9-4, baby. I'll take it. What's up, Eric? What's up, John? What's up, Nova69? What's up, Lee, of course? What's up? What's up, JT? What's up, Big Harm? Great show tonight. What's up, Omar? What's up, Zach? What's up, Bryson? Brycian? Station, haven't kept up with the channel in like a month, but X-Books have been good this month. Well, I'll say this. X-Books were good this week. I will say that. Both X-Books were really good this week that I read. I don't think there was anything else. Got my Tiki, what is it? Geeky Tikis. Whatever. It's Masters of the Universe He-Man. Why not? Who else we got in here? Yeah, Cowboys for the win, CMA. In fact, and the thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night. I really have a piece inside of me that wants to karaoke some Garth Brooks. I really do. I've only done it with a crew of people doing Friends in Low Places. But I really like me some Garth Brooks, man. I'm not going to lie. And I like me some Chris Gaines. So there you go. What's up, Jeremy? How are you doing, buddy? What's up, William? Oh, you're actually here live? That's cool, man. Hell yeah. Hey, Two Fat Guys Pool List. What's up, my dudes? Station, have a fantastic show. How about them Cowboys? Thank you for the super chat, my mans. My men's. See, what are we gonna do? Alright, here we go. Yo, but let me tell you about this comic book that came out just last week. It wasn't good, but it was okay, my C. Let me tell you, Iron Man and Captain America weren't quite as good in the com era as they were today in this week on this comic book. Let me tell you, Iron Man and Captain America, or Captain America and Iron Man, they wasn't a very good comic book, but I will say that they were the shit in the Capcom era in the 90s when they had that game, Marvel vs. Capcom or Street Fighter vs. X-Men. It doesn't matter what if that GIF is from. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you something I wanna say. How about today? How about them Cowboys? Don't you know? I'm dipping out Bowser for the power hour. Cannot be stopped. Look at that cold-ass Bowser. Just took out Captain America's power. I'll be honest, two fat guys pull list. That was weak. Not deserving of $10. I'll try to make up for it later. How's everybody doing? All right, we get your questions in right now, your thoughts, your concerns, whatever you want to talk about. Get it in right now, and we're about to go into the first 6. Beeler and Bob are back with the Coffee and Comic Show, which is nearing the end of its current iteration. So I do want to point everybody out to that show. It's going to be dropping tomorrow. They do a first 5 and a final 5. We do a first 6 and a final 9. In tribute and not to rip them off as well. We've been going through my Blu-ray collection. We're in the G's. Let's continue on. We got Green Lantern Emerald Knights. That's a really cool anthology animation series. Got it with the slip, of course. Green Lantern First Flight. A slip with some shine to it. Really like this one. This is the one with Nathan Fillion, right? Nope, Christopher Maloney. Nathan Fillion's in this one. Yeah. All right, anyway, this is pretty good. This is like Green Lantern Year 1, the origin story, whatever. Hey, we're in the Christmas season. Speaking of Christmas, there's my favorite Christmas movie. It's Gremlins. With the slip, my dudes. Really wish they could do the classic VHS cover for that. There's my Gremlins 2 Blu-ray, which happens to come with Gremlins, so I got 2 copies of Gremlins, but I got Gremlins 2. Notice that Gremlins is rated PG. Gremlins 2 rated PG-13. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Here is my Steelbook edition of the Grindhouse movies. It's a dope. We covered this on Dylan's Horror Show. You should check that out. But this is a Steelbook edition of the original theatrical release. So it's both of the cut down movies combined into one movie with those extra trailers. So you can get versions of this that are the extended versions of those movies. I, for the most part, like this version better, especially with Death Proof. Anyway. Then we got Guardians of the Galaxy. Anybody who checked out my top 10 Marvel movies will know that this was high on my top 10 list. So that is the first 6 from my Blu-ray collection. No Fargate. I have not watched Cemetery Man yet. Man, Dylan's keeping me busy. I'm keeping me busy. World's keeping me busy. Christmas is keeping me busy. We'll get to it, brother. Death Proof. That's good stuff, man. Emmanuel says, Action Comics 1040 will have a shocking cliffhanger. Well, I hope so. The last one had a pretty good cliffhanger, though we don't believe it. You know, we don't believe it. You know. Wow, I thought Garth himself made a cameo on the show. Thank you. Well, I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. Station, and I'll be okay. Well, I know, whatever. What's up, Philip? Station, everyone. Got my usual Sunday night workflow going as I listen in. Glad to be here. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Got the Batman Death in the Family Choose Your Own Destiny Blu-ray. Choose Your Own Destiny. What's that like? So the new X-Men books that are coming out or whatever they were doing those teases for Destiny of X, and it was like Choose Your Destiny. I'm like, you're just gonna rip off Mortal Kombat like that? Shit. Like Choose Your Destiny. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Hey, the artist formerly known as Jesse, say what? How are you doing? Man, I'm back here in studio. Hey, last week I was off and I cleaned out the studio. This had become, let me tell you something, a mess of comic books and toys and just Wizard magazines and VHSs. Like, there was shit everywhere, bro. I could not walk through this room. And made a conscientious effort last week to clean this room out, and now here I am again. So I'm very, very excited. Very excited. Thoughts on Shadow War. Okay. All right. So, Shadow War. I did not cover this on the weekly pop culture wrap-up that released yesterday. So, I'll cover it here. Okay, so we just finished a Batman crossover called Fear State. Literally just finished that. Just fucking finished that. Okay, it's part of my French. By the way, when I was on the Blame Fable show earlier, I wasn't on there, but I was listening and commenting. I said commenting like this, but it was actually more like this. I said must be Italian, and then as soon as I posted it, I was like, no, it's French. It must be French. What the fuck is wrong with you? They were talking about A Christmas Story. Anyway, they all gave it 5. I give it 4.5, you digs. Mostly because it's a great movie, but we've all seen it too many times with commercials. Downgrades it. I need to watch it. I used to have it on DVD. I don't anymore. Gotta get it on Blu-ray. Now it's my mission to get it on Blu-ray with the slip just to throw that in Big Herm's face. So there you go. Herm, you think you the slip king? No, he doesn't. Anyway, what's up, Fable? Fable's in the house. Fable, great fucking show, bruh. Pardon my French. Great show. Really good stuff. All right, so Fear State just wrapped up. Batman crossover. Leading into another Batman crossover called Shadows of the Bat or whatever. Batman's gone from Gotham. And it's a Mariko Tamaki crossover event. It's going to be going through the Bat titles, except for the main Batman book. And Detective Comics is basically weekly during that. It's going to be like a 3 months fucking span. January, February into March. I don't know. Maybe just January, February. It doesn't matter. Here's what matters. One Bat event into another Bat event into, you ready for this? The Shadow War. Oh my goodness. All right, so Joshua Williamson's Batman run is saved from the Shadow of the Bat crossover. But as soon as that wraps up, there will now be a Joshua Williamson Batman-centric crossover between Deathstroke Inc. and Robin and Batman. And there's going to be some bookend. What? Oh my. You're hurting me. You're hurting my head, DC. You're pissing me off so much. Are you seriously? I'm trying to be positive about comic books, especially at the end of the year. I'm trying to focus on what was the best stuff of the year. By the way, top 10 comic books of the year from Rockin Robbie, launching or dropping Thursday morning. So be on the lookout for that. Oh my God, what are you doing, DC? A Batman crossover into a Batman crossover into a Batman crossover. It's rough, man. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough being a DC Comics fan right now. I'm excited about certain things. I'm excited about whatever Joshua Williamson is building up to for the next Crisis event. I'm excited about Action Comics. Philip Kennedy Johnson doing a great job there. I'm excited about Swamp Thing by Ron V. I'm excited about some of their Black Label books. Batman the Imposter, Robin and Batman. We got new issues out this week. Robin and Batman is not a DC Black Label. Anyway. Man, oh, frickin' man. You gotta be kidding me. Batman event into Batman event into Batman event. That's worse than Spider-Man Point bullshit. I mean, I'm y'all that follow the channel know what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. Not looking forward to it. Hope they deliver. I hope they're good stories, but Batman event into Batman event into Batman event. And actually, if you go back to Joker War, it's kind of almost like Batman event into Batman event into Batman event into Batman event. Come on. You got to be freaking kidding me, man. Ugh. Goodness me. William says, dude, Batman is my favorite character ever, but man, come on, y'all kill me. Batman is the new Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. Jorm said, dropped 9 months ago. Good for you. If it stands the test of time, you can pick up the trades. But the Tynan run, in the long run, just another blip. And unfortunately, he'll probably be remembered more fondly than other blips that should be remembered very fondly. In specific, the Greg Rucka, Ed Brubaker post No Man's Land run of Batman shit is fantastic. Ugh. Yeah, that Blame Fable show tonight was fire, 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 y'all, says JT. I agree. What's up, Skip and Tosh? Cerebros. What's up, Verno? We all make fun of his voice, or we all try to like do an imitation of his voice just because we're so jealous of it. Was there a month of November group review show? No, and there probably won't be one for December either. But I have plans to bring it back in January. See how that all works out, shakes out. DC Black Label is where it's at. That's where they're trying to go for their more evergreen type books that can exist as graphic novels on comic store shelves or bookshelves at bookstores and things like that. So, yeah. They're tying and probably paying better for those right now. Eric says, year over year, the best big two books are the ones that get bogged down by events. Agreed. What's up, Trade Paper Dad? What's up, Taki? What's up, Marowak? Reminds me of next year's X-Men events. Deaths and Lives of Wolverine and Devil's Reign and Destiny to X and X-Men Avengers. Yeah. Yep. It's because the big two, they're very short-term sighted right now. Basically, this is what I think has happened, okay? I think that Marvel and DC Comics have realized that they are just intellectual property and story idea petri dishes, right? Where they're just throwing shit at the fucking wall as quickly as possible to see if anything resonates or hits so they can move that into the film slate or the animation slate or the TV slate or whatever, right? So I feel like they're just kind of throwing a bunch of fucking shit at the wall. Pardon my language tonight, y'all. Just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and hoping... Why am I just now apologizing for my language? Anyway, I'm way too caffeinated up right now. So, that's what I think. I think they're just... I feel... I don't really see a good 2022, at least the early runnings of it, the first half of 2022, first quarter. I don't see good stuff from Marvel or DC overall, but I am still excited about comic books as a medium because it's never been Marvel and DC alone that's carried that torch throughout the decades. It's been other publishers, and what's really carried this medium forward have been individual creators. And so as far as creation and my optimism about creative endeavors for comic books in the future, I'm very excited for that. But as far as Marvel and DC goes, I don't think in the lifetime of this channel that I have been more down on the direction of both Marvel and DC as I am right now. And it kind of hurts me, y'all. It really does, man. It really does hurt me. I really wish that they were doing better as far as what I'm expecting and wanting out of them. I'm not expecting to like every single book. I'm not expecting that, but I am expecting a cohesive vision of where they're going, and I'm expecting a reliance on creators to get to do the work and let the work be done and build audiences. This is something I wanted to talk about. And maybe this is part of my problem with the thank you, JT. Maybe this is part of the problem with just comics right now with the big two, but like I asked this in the Blame Fable show. Do you think, and I'm asking you all now, right now, do you all think that comic books and TV shows are getting canceled too soon? I.e., they're not giving these stories enough time to develop, these characters to develop and grow, and for the shows or the comics to find an audience. I threw some examples out. First of all, Nick threw out a good example, Seinfeld. Seinfeld's first season is not very good. The Seinfeld Chronicles, like 6-episode season, it's okay. Season 1 starts off shaky, but then it starts popping, and it grew, okay? I would say the same thing about Friends. Right now, of course, in my 90s head, I'm thinking about all these 90s shows. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that first season is weak. It really started hitting its stride in the middle of season 2, and then on from 3 and 4 to 5 and onward, right? Lost was a show that hit real big, but I didn't really get into Lost till the end of season 2. Nowadays, like Parks and Recreation was not good in its first season. Ratings on things like, how many chances did we give Arrested Development or The Family Guy? Ratings today on things like maybe Community would have hindered that show. All these shows, if they were made today, would be in danger of being canceled before they found their audiences. And it's the same with comic books. Bruh. We're living in a world where a comic book series is announced as an ongoing and canceled, but it was always just a mini-series to begin with. And as much as I love stories, graphic novels, they're one and done, beginning, middle, and end, I love long-term storytelling, right? And especially when it's done right. There's a lot of opportunity out there, but it doesn't get to succeed. You get what I'm saying? Because right now we live in the world of instant gratification. We live in this binge culture. They were all talking about this on the Blame Fable show. That's why you need to watch that show. These dudes know what the hell they're talking about. We live in this world now where it's like, at least the corporations are expecting now. Success now. If we don't get success now, done. Here's an example. This is why this is on my head. I want to know what y'all think, so get it in the chat. I'll get to it. This is what I think. They care so much now about the initial, say, Rotten Tomatoes score or the hype built up on it online. How much social hits do we get? How much interaction do we get on social media? How many hashtags are mentioned on Twitter or IG? Over the quality of the show, seeing the audience you have, and the potential to grow that audience. In the case of Cowboy Bebop, I have not seen it. I wanted to go back and rewatch the original before I jumped into this one. But now I'm in a situation where, do I even want to do that? Because I know there's not going to be a season 2 because they canceled it less than a month out. Come on, y'all. And I know people out there are like, oh, it could be expensive. Right now, Netflix is the HBO of the 2000s when they had some amazing shows that could have been developed okay, Carnival, Rome, 2 shows from HBO that were canceled because they were quote unquote too expensive. The other one, Deadwood. Deadwood canned after 3 seasons. Way later, they did the follow-up final movie. It was bittersweet for me. I love Deadwood. Deadwood could have been, if Deadwood would have went 5 to 7 seasons, I really feel like Deadwood would have been one of the fucking best television shows we have ever had. And I think it would have been the best Western we ever had if it would have been able to tell its story. Come on. Let shows, TV shows, comic books, they need time to breathe. It's not just about the short-term game. That's what I'm seeing with Marvel and DC right now. That's what I'm seeing with Netflix. That's what I'm seeing with a lot of studios out there. A lot of creative production companies. Instant gratification. We want to hit it now. Now, also, part of that is us. We live in a world now where everything is available at the drop of a hat on a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? A cellular phone. Like, we can pull up any information we wanted. You know? We can watch anything. And we got TikTok videos. YouTube's trying to get me to do shorts. YouTube's trying to get me to do short videos. Do they even know who the hell PCP is? We don't do short form conversation. Come on, we're long form. You know what I'm saying? Last year they loved long form. This year they're wanting short. Everybody's wanting it quick. They want it now. Man, that's the problem. That's the problem now with entertainment companies. That's the problem now with a lot of the entertainment audience. Man, I'm guilty. Station, I'm guilty. You know what I'm saying? I want it now. I want it. You know what I'm saying? I want a new episode of Cartoonist Kayfabe every fucking day. And I want it to be exactly what I want. I want it to be slam, bangy, powy, pop, punchy. I want it. I want it now. I want a new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race every single week. I don't want to break in between seasons. I get it. I want it now. I want every episode all at once. No. If we want to change this, here's what we do. Stop releasing every episode all at once. Binge culture worked back in the day. Back in the day when it was DVD box sets, when you would binge, that worked because you were able to, like, say, go to the rental store, right? Or rent these full seasons of shows like, say, Lost or Buffy or 24, whatever it was at the time. And you'd get into it and you'd binge it on your own after the fact. They realize we all like binging shows, so they just start dropping everything. And it leads to this world now where everything has to hit in the first 24 hours. Or we're giving it up. We're cutting it out. You know what I'm saying? That's not how entertainment works. That's not how storytelling works. We need to get back out of the binge. Binge culture is fine after the fact. Right? Let shows breathe. Going week to week. If Cowboy Bebop was released week to week, that would have allowed it more time for people like me to jump in. Because there were people like me, much more than just me, that were wanting to jump in, but maybe during the holiday season didn't have the time. Maybe because of their busy work schedules, didn't have the time. Maybe because trying to spend time with the family, doing other things aside from just being in front of a screen, didn't have time. Watch it in the first month or it's over. That's bullshit, man. That's what I think. What do y'all think? Going back in the comments a little bit, see what y'all say. Dun, 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 dun. Joe says, I just hope She-Hulk reboot is good. Yeah, me too. We'll see what happens. What's up, Michael? Taki says, I think Scott Snyder murdered the DC universe. It has been the same since Death Metal. That's not on him, though, man. That's not on him. That's all editorial. Scott dipped the fuck out. They were like, we're lowering page rates. He's like, really? Amazon's paying me. What happened was that the end of Death Metal coincided with a change in management at DC, where they were focusing on brand over creators. We talked about that here on this show. I said, rumors are that DC editorial and management is now focusing on brand over creators. That's going to be a problem, and here we are. The stuff that Marvel's throwing against the wall is mostly tired rehash, though. At least throw something interesting. I agree, Eric, 100%. I mean, I know a lot of people are responding to Devil's Reign, but man, that is Civil War on a smaller scale. And what are you trying to do with your characters there? You're trying to make us see that the heroism of these characters, right? Because they only care that a gangster is the mayor of New York City when he tells y'all that you can't wear a mask and use your superpowers in my city. That's whack. I was wondering if you can help me answer a question. How can you tell the different printings of the original Watchmen 12 issues? I don't know. I've never had to come across that. I'll have to research that, Dan. Good question, though. If anybody knows, let it go. How do you tell different printings of Watchmen aside? Taki says, I know comic book review shows are being canceled too soon. Well, ours is not being canceled. Don't worry about that. Partine says, I think yes, but another contributor is the fixation on big events, making it to where experimental books can't make big waves. Yeah, but those kind of books don't make those waves initially. It takes time to build. Sandman, Preacher, Invisibles. Invisibles took way longer than those ones. To be honest, the full appreciation of the Invisibles hasn't even really occurred yet. But Preacher, Sandman, Hitman, those are books that had to have time to grow. Joe says Battlestar Galactica. William says the Office is like that. Not a good first season. Eric says, absolutely, and the rush natural leads to the writers not being able to have a cohesive arc in place. It's like a snake eating its own head. Cerebros says, too many entertainment options these days. Hard to give things a proper shot. Joram says, goldfish attention span. Logan says, absolutely, the miniseries to ongoing series ratio is slipping. Joe says Heroes is a good example. Season 1 was good. Season 2 blew. Well, the writer's strike was allegedly involved with that, but I don't think Heroes was good. I think Heroes had some really good parts, but they didn't know how to fill it all out. I don't really like Heroes Season 1 even. But that's just me. What do I know? We need binge books like we need binge TV shows. It's harder now to develop a series. Yeah. Well, that's what manga does, right? Kind of. I blame Sam Raimi for canceling a great show with the greatest opening theme, Jack of all trades, starring Bruce Campbell. CMA Thunder says, that's today's society, bro. Yeah, man. But are we supposed to just be happy with the way it is? Trade Paper Dad says, Cowboy Bebop, I rewatched the anime before the live action, and it helped. Marowak says, I agree. A lot of today's comic representatives had low sales. 100 Bullets, Invincible, Walking Dead. Absolutely. Walking Dead would be canceled today after 5 issues. Wouldn't even made it to that 6th issue. JT says, Sal brought the fact that actors can't grow into their characters. That's true. Trade Paper Dad says, Deadwood was greatness. I still have the set and the slips. Hell yeah. I need to get that shit on Blu-ray. I don't have it. And I don't have HBO Max. I just rewatched it earlier this year, though. Fucking love that show. Everybody's always like, Firefly should have had more time. Man, fuck that. Deadwood. Deadwood's the greatest TV show tragedy in my life. Phillips says, extended storylines work for manga. It gives the characters and plot time to build and grow. It's what comics and shows need to get back to. I agree. How about Tom Brady winning in overtime? I have not followed. I don't know what else happened in the NFL. Seriously, since the Cowboys started going down a little bit and not performing so well these last few weeks, I stopped paying attention. I used to wake up every morning, turn on ESPN. I don't do that. I haven't been doing that for the last few weeks because I just don't want to hear negativity about my boys. That being said, how about them Cowboys? How about them? So if anything's going, what's going on in football? Who won? Who lost? Jack says, Robbie, you make great points. It's hard to get fully invested in DC or Marvel. It wasn't like that 16 years ago. I agree. Hey, Bob. Bullseye Bob from Everything Comics. Bob, I'm talking about Kung Fu Hustle tonight, my man. Bob says, Netflix is notorious for pulling the trigger quick. They had a lot of bad properties that went to season 3 that were terrible, but they were losing money, so they cut the cord now. I don't think that works. They gotta let these shows breathe, man. You know how it goes, Bob. Frank Miller's Daredevil run wasn't the best its first 5 issues. Do you think comics will always be around, or do you see popularity diminishing or going completely online? Elliot, in my lifetime, I don't think comics are going to go away. It's a medium in and of itself that you can do things in that you can't do. Now, the problem is that comics used to do things that you couldn't do on television and in movies. That has since changed, especially in the last 20 years. There are still things that comic books can do that you can't do in a novel, that you can't do in a magazine, that you can't do in a movie or a TV show. We need to get back to some of that shit, which is more like graphic design, graphic storytelling. We need to go back to what made indie underground comics in the 80s and 90s work so much. We need to go back to that for inspiration. Less so than 2000s comics, in my opinion. Bob says, Marco Polo was a good example of that. They should have cut the show and created a separate show for a 100 Eyes. That would have been dope. Never saw that one. We got a super chat from Taki who says, here's to the OG studio. Thank you so much, Taki. Yeah, man, them Cowboys won, bruh. Backers and pairs. I said backers and pairs, y'all. What the hell's wrong with me? Packers and Bears right now, nice. San Francisco pulled it out against the Bengals. Interesting. Yeah, Invincible, the comic would have been canceled if it came out now. Yeah, when we talk about the problems of cancel culture, this is what I'm talking about. Comic books will always be here. We made it through the fucking 90s, man. Will you still be doing your top 10 issues of the week now that you and Jim's collab is over? All right, before me and Jim did the top 10 video over at his channel, I did my own. And at the time, it was throwing too much in. Like, I don't know. Like, I like the idea of the top 10, but at the same time, there's a piece of me that doesn't like ranking them. But I liked doing that video with Jim, right? That's what I liked. So me and Jim, we just got to find something else that we want to do, right? And expect more collabs in the future, more things. Between both of us. But right now, as of right now, no. I have no plans on doing a top 10 video. John says cancel D's nuts. What's up, John? How you doing, bruh? Excited about the podcast coming back, man. I've been watching Bond movies. I haven't been watching them fast enough, though. So, I'm ready, though. But no, I don't know, Daily Show, I liked doing the top 10, but I quit doing it on my own for a reason, and me and Jim had our collaboration, and I love Jim. Jim Mint is amazing. He's a super cool dude. Just hit 135K, so congrats and station to Jim Mint. But I don't have any plans right now. I have been trying to do more. I've been taking the time to do more top 5 videos, do more trade paperback graphic novel reviews, and to do other content. So that's what I'm trying to do. Y'all have seen a little bit of that over the last couple weeks. If you like that improvement, there's more content now here on this channel, though. I always meant to do more top 5s. I got another top 5 I'm doing this week. Another graphic novel review I'm doing this week. So that's my plan now, to use that time. That being said, I really love hanging out and doing shows with Jim Mint. So expect more in the future. Same with Bueller. Everybody's busy. We're trying to focus on things. We got the holiday season, but there's a lot more. I believe Jim Mint might be on the show in Lost in Comics on Thursday. I'm pretty sure Bob's going to be on that show too. Yeah, Dodor, I used to do a top 10 comics of the week with Jim Mint, but we canceled that a couple weeks ago. C-Made Thunder says, why no top 10 with Jim? That was his decision, but I understand his decision, and I respect it. And like I said, the biggest thing that I liked was doing content with Jim. There will be more of that coming, but yeah, that was his call. But it's given me more time now to work on other things. And let me know, have y'all noticed? I did my top 10 MCUs. I did my top 5 Spider-Man stories. I did the Red Room trade paperback review. I'm cutting out the Marvel in the 90s, trying to get that all caught up. Evil Face Bad says, thank you for the Seven Samurai recommendation. That movie is now one of my top 10 greatest of all time. Station, Evil Face Bad. Hey, we got Perry in the house. What's up, Perry? How are y'all doing? How can we see your top 10 now? I used to release my top 10, just a list of it on man, y'all really want a top 10. Eric says, more PCP is always a good thing. I agree. William says, dude, no joke. I really felt like you have been on everyone's show. Need to do it on your own channel. No disrespect to anyone. Just saying your opinion is the one they always want to hear. Thank you, William. I really appreciate that. Station. Dora says, I love your weekly wrap-up. Naomi is coming back. Good to hear. Hell yeah. Yeah, Jim's trying to change some things up. Jim's the dude that he's focusing on the algorithm. Now, here's the thing. I don't want anybody to think that Jim quit doing the video because he didn't want to do it or he didn't think it was performing well. Jim always liked doing that video and he always liked the way it was performing, but he's trying to do something with his channel. He is a hustler, man, and Jim is always trying to improve that channel and his content, and I really appreciate that. And he's cutting a few things, right? He's trying to do certain things better. He's refocusing on other things. He's trying to work his stuff out. And it's given me an opportunity to do the same because I'm inspired by Jim Mint, right? You get what I'm saying? I love this dude's hustle. Especially having worked with him, I fucking think Jim Mint is me and him are a lot alike, y'all. And that's something that we recognize is that we're both really dedicated, type A personalities, and we like to do our thing. Well, thank you all for I really appreciate it all. But no, man, there's going to be more in the future from collabs between me and Jim Mint. Your top 10 is awesome to watch. After I read the books too, provides a whole new perspective. Well, thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. All right. Yeah, the problem is that doing a top 10 video is like a whole night for me, and I don't want to edit it together. In fact, if I wanted to do the same show on my channel, I'm sure Jim would want to do it with me. But no offense, y'all. I do not like editing videos, so I do not handle that very well. And so I don't know if y'all can tell that, but I don't like editing videos. So Jim likes editing shit together. He's good at that. He's like fucking. I'm not. I like delivering and then being done with it, y'all. Hey, what's up, officially unofficial geek? OUG. Thank you, Skip and Tosh. I agree. Yeah, Taki says, "Duh, guys, don't forget the weekly comic book review, our flagship, where Rockin Robbie gives his opinions on a bunch of books." Yeah, the weekly comic book review. It's the show where I read a lot of comic books, and I'll let you know what I thought about them. Perry says, editing is fun. Bob says, editing videos is tedious. It's not my bag, man. It's just not my thing to do. I've told everybody, as soon as I can afford it, I'll pay an editor. We're not there yet. Unfortunately. Why are there people always outside my apartments fucking screaming shit now? I'm right there with Bob. It's not that I don't like editing videos, because like videos that I have like put a lot of effort into editing, like my toy hauls, I only did 2 of them. Cancel that shit way too early. You know what I'm saying? I like doing it, but I have a full-time job. I manage a comic shop. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to have a social life, whatever that is, you know? And it's hard, man. That takes extra hours. Right now, I'm trying to divert those hours to other things. Got to get back into the gym and working out. That's another thing Jim Mint has been encouraging me to do. Thoughts on Batman 118? I thought it was all right. It could have been better. Make an editor a Patreon goal. If somebody pays me to be an editor? Or do you mean like, hey, if we hit this goal, we can hire an editor? I don't know. Perry, how much you cost per video? How much you cost per hour? What's your rate, Perry? Perry's a good editor. He's offered to edit vlogs for free because he checked out some of my old vlogs. I did 4 of them, and he liked them, and I thought they were good too. But just so much editing, man. Joe says, my store has not been getting their books lately, like Swamp Thing. Yeah, there's a lot of that shit going on around now. Dodora says, Robbie, Huntsville Con is looking good. I'll try to make it this year from Pensacola. Hell yeah. I still got to get our table. I haven't done that yet. We need table goal, man. Any super chats would be greatly appreciated. It would help us pay for our table at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. We got Kevin Eastman there this year, y'all. And we just announced, y'all ready for this? I don't remember homie's name, but the dude that played Shredder in Secret of the Ooze is going to be there. And I got a fucking Shredder poster from Secret of the Ooze that Brian and his lady gave me. And I'm really pumped for that. Really, really pumped. $1.5 gigs an hour, 2 Doritos per break. Thank you, man. Thank you, CMA. I really appreciate that. Yeah, man, it's a good... Nick says, can't wait to get here again. Nick's the only one that I've met out of all of y'all, like, physically. Like, he was there last year, so that was cool. Getting to meet Nick. Yeah, I need to get on that. If y'all want to help us get to the expo this year, we could use the super chats. All right. Time to talk about comic books from last week. But before we get to that, By the Horns, issue number 8. Y'all know I've been loving this book. It's one of my favorites of the year. I got my first official pull quote in a comic book page printed. I've had pull quotes before. The first pull quote I ever had was from John Lees and Ryan Lee from Mountainhead, and that was dope as hell. But my very first in-print pull quote ever is By the Horns. Issue number 8 has an ad for the trade paperback with a quote on it that says, By the Horns is one of the best books on shelves. Robbie Billups, Pop Culture Philosophers. That's freaking awesome. Thank you guys so much. Marcus and Jason, Andre, and All of y'all. Nicole, Nate, Brandon, Tennessee. Tennessee. I challenge you to a game of horseshoes. A game of horseshoes? Take me to another place. Take me to another land. Y'all know Arrested Development. Come on. I want to appreciate everybody at Scout Comics. They've been doing some really good work lately. By the Horns is one of the best books out there. If you haven't checked this out, I would definitely say get this trade paperback. Robbie Billups says it's one of the best books on shelves. That's super cool, man. I'm really thankful for that. That's awesome. Well, I see some super chats coming in. CMA Thunder and Daniel, thank you so much for helping support the goal of getting that table at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo so we can go meet Kevin Eastman. See if we can get a... I need to start kayfabing a little bit more and try to like get out there a little bit more with some of these creators that, we've had a lot of great creators on the channel, but I am like, y'all saw me, how nervous I was with Rom V. Imagine how nervous I am about even approaching some of these people to be on the show. I'm super nervous to really go for Ed Piscor or Jim Rugg or Tom Scioli. My latest YouTube session is the Cartoonist Kayfabe channel. Thank y'all so much. We really do appreciate that, man. Word on the street is that we're going to be retiring the Hellboy song at the end of the year. So we only have so much left, right? Let me tell you about this little man I know. It's Uncle Scrooge, y'all. We were talking about Christmas Carol with the Muppets just a few days ago. Everybody liked the Kermit the Frog, and they even liked the Miss Piggy too. But Tiny Tim made everybody feel something inside of them that they forgot was inside of them to begin with. Love that Tiny Tim. Don't you know, make me cry, ghosts of futures to come. Futures to come, he means Christmas. Everybody knows that the Mickey one is good. Scrooge is from Mr. Scrooge. I don't even know how that wound up inside of my head. I appreciate all of the love, my fam. Don't you know, we got Kid Cudi saying station, and we got Blade's approval too. Wow, it's Wesley Snipes. All right, we really do appreciate the super chats. Thank you so much. We're now got a new goal. This is by the way, the penultimate episode of Rockin Robbie Live for the year. We only got one more. That's next week. And then we're coming back in 2022. So hell yeah. All right, now is the time of the show where we're supposed to talk about our favorite comic books of last week. But we've already been going for over an hour. Can you believe that? So it's actually time for our first break. We'll be right back here on Pop Culture Philosophers, Rockin Robbie Live. Thank you for the love, y'all. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. Welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live here on a Sunday night, the show where we talk about movies, comic books, pop culture, and a whole lot more. I'm having a great old time. Join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, follow Pop Culture Philosophers there. You can follow me on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie. Join us over at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and more older content. And of course, you can support the channel at patreon.com/PCP like these fine PCP patriots right there. Thank you, station, to one and all of you. We really do appreciate it. Welcome back from the break. You can also support the channel with Super Chat. We are trying to collect funds right now to secure our table at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo 2022. We have not missed a year yet. And this year we got Kevin Eastman up in the mix. Very excited for that. Going to try to get a chat with him and see if I can get him to agree to be on the show, maybe. How cool would that be to have Kevin Eastman on the show? Speaking of on the show, I do want to say visit dynamicforces.com and enter Robbie at your cart to receive 10% off. And join me over at The Experience with Rex and John from Dynamic Forces, a.k.a. Dynamite Entertainment, tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Central Time for a really good time. Then we got Scrooge coming up this Friday night for PCP Movie Night. It's the final PCP Movie Night of the year, so be there or be square. Be a Scrooge, if you will. And then the very next night over at Dylan's Horror Show, we got Better Watch Out. That's the final Dylan's Horror Show of the year. So y'all, you got to show up for your boys, right? Dylan just hit 900 subscribers. Station. Then I checked this morning, he was at 899. Jesus Christ. Can somebody go sub up to Dylan, please? He's crossed 900 twice and came back again. Come on. Come on. Can you believe that? Anyway, we're having a great conversation. It's time to look ahead at what's coming up at shops this week. But before we do that, we actually got to look back at our favorite comics of the last week. I want to know, what was your favorite comic book last week? In fact, what was your pick of the week? Mine, of course, was Crimson Cage, #1, from John Lees, Alex Cormack, Ashley Cormack, Hassan Otsman El Howe. Y'all, you know I love this book. First of all, John Lees, friend of the show, right? Alex Cormack, friend of the show. We had John on twice. We had Alex on the last time we had John on. They were talking about this book in particular. I had read this issue then, and I told y'all this book was going to be amazing. And not only did it hold up to what I thought of it when I first read it, when I reread it, it was even better. And to me, the best book of a pretty solid week in comics, man. Absolutely great stuff out this week, but the Crimson Cage nailed it for me. This is William Shakespeare's Macbeth set in 80s Southern territorial wrestling. Holy frickin' cow. It's amazing. So you have it all there. You have the Greek chorus giving us a little bit of purple prosy exposition. But instead of a king, it's a wrestler. Instead of this dude, it's a wrestler, right? And he's trying to not just be the king, he's trying to be the king of wrestling. So it's focused on this dude. He gets this strange visit one night and a prophecy from these oracles that they prophesy that he is going to be the next champion. And then they give him a dagger, and they're like, you know what you got to do. If you've read Macbeth, you know what's happening, right? Look at that artwork by Alex Cormack, colored by his wife, Ashley Cormack. I have not met his wife. I have met his son. If you watch that John Lees, Alex Cormack show, very early on, his son shows up, and he continues to make appearances. He was home from school sick that day. Really cool stuff. Anyway, the wrestling lingo, the action is great, but the darkness of it works so freaking well. Alex Cormack is amazing. Him and John Lees, of course, are the creative team of Sync. And Alex also did the artwork on Road of Bones, Sea of Sorrows. An amazing artist. Really cool stuff. I loved this book. It held up for me. This is a cliche thing to say. Shakespeare's stories are so universal that they can be adapted into any medium in any era. That's true, right? But the way that John Lees does it, the way that Alex executes that on the page visually, the way that the colors are by Ashley, the lettering by Hassan, holy cow, that's my pick of the week. I want to know right now, what was your favorite comic book last week, and what did you think of Crimson Cage? What's your pick of the week? So let us know. We're going to take a look back. Dodora says Animal Castle #1. Haven't read that one. I skipped on it. Animal Farm in a medieval setting. It's sold out. It's one of those big spec books now, right? Was Dark Knights of Steel this week? I think it was. That was a solid issue, actually. James says read Blacksmith up to issue 4. Really good. Yeah, that's a really solid book. Officially unofficial geek pick was Swamp Thing. Beautiful and poetic writing from Rom V. I agree. Definitely something in consideration for my top 10 video. Releasing this Thursday. So look out for that. Does he have lust in his eyes for Elizabeth? The darkness works well. Yes, it really freaking does. This may have been the strongest week of the year. Inferno was great. Swamp Thing proves Rom V is the best. And Further Place from Here is super entertaining, says Eric. I agree. Really good books. Bob says Coffee Show will be good tomorrow. Hell yeah, it's always good. I'm expecting greatness, Bob. Come on. Jordan says Dark Knights of Steel or Neda Hall's Nightmare Blog #2. I didn't read that one. I didn't really like issue #1. Do you do top 10 reads of the year? Yeah, I got a top 10 comic books of the year dropping on Thursday. I've done one every year since 2017, I believe. William says, I don't know, man. Nothing really blew me away. I'll say Dark Knights of Steel #2. Okay. Congratulations to Rockin Robbie for wearing cap backwards over 100 times on YouTube. Over 1,000, my man. We have over 1,000 videos here on YouTube. I wear my hat backwards in almost all of them. Easy Reader is here. Easy Reader. Says, Lady Mechanica. Evil Face Bad said, loves the new silver coin. This book keeps getting better and better. I agree. That was a great issue. Eric says, even The Devil's Reign came out the gates firing. Zach says, Crossover. That was a great issue of Crossover. Arkham City and Dark Knights of Steel. Steel, I should say. What'd y'all think of Crimson Cage? Did anybody get a chance to check that out? Did y'all like it? What'd y'all think? I'm curious. It made Verno's pick of the week. In fact, Verno, I don't know if you're still here, but I don't know if you know this, but John Lees mentioned you, gave you a little shout out in his newsletter this week. Yes, Silver Coin is still going. Really good book right now. This issue was Rom V. Vegas-centric story related to the Aztec sacrament of sacrifice. Zach says the paneling of Crimson Cage was so creative. Dodora's never heard of it till now. Freaking fantastic book. Last I saw, Diamond still had copies, so let your shop know you want them. Great book. Really good stuff. I've read issue #2 as well. And let me tell you, pretty fucking dope. And it's pretty cool to have friends of the show. William says, Crimson Cage was good. I like the interpretation, but yes, I've seen it before. Okay. JT says, AR Comics pick of the week too. All right. Omar says, Crimson Cage, Devil's Reign, Crimson Reign. It don't matter. Lakers in 6. What's that? Bob says, you all please do me a favor. Keep Jason from Heroes to Icons in your thoughts and prayers. He has COVID and is in the hospital. Love that brother. I love Jason too. Everybody, keep Jason in your thoughts, man. Seriously. Let's have a station identification for Jason, everybody. Put your thoughts out for Jason. He's from the channel From Heroes to Icons. Our brother. All right, everybody. Best thoughts and speedy recovery to Jason. Station. All right. We took a look at what came out last week, and we talked about our favorites. OUG says, Crimson Cage sounds intriguing because of the Macbeth thing. It's handled so well. It's so freaking good. So freaking good. All right. Now it's time to move ahead. Take a look at what's coming up in shops this week. Let's see. We got an Amazing Spider-Man 81. I'm not going to read it. We got Wonder Woman 782. I do have a DC sneak peek coming up, but I am not. I decided to cut some books. So I'm going to let you know what all the DC stuff is. So yeah, Wonder Woman 782. I'm not going to read that one. X-Force 26. Not going to read that. Berserker 6. Totally going to read that. Joker 10. I read it. Hulk number 2 is out this week. I'm excited to see what they do there. Excalibur 26, Miles Morales Spider-Man 33, Star Wars The High Republic 12, Batman Urban Legends 10, I skipped that one, Eternals number 8, Strange Academy number 14, Robin and Batman number 2, Wonder Girl number 6, skipped it, Batman the Imposter number 3, Primordial number 4, King Spawn number 5, Savage Avengers number 27, TMNT 124, Teen Titans Academy 19, or number 9. You know I skipped that one, y'all. Batgirls number 1, I Am Batman number 4, Defenders number 4, Future State Gotham number 8, Harley Quinn the Animated Series, The Eat, Bang, Kill Tour number 4, Walking Dead Deluxe 29, Titans United number 4, Maze Book number 4, Demon Days, Rising Storm number 1, Star Wars High Republic Adventures 2021 Annual, Batman Adventures Continue Season 2 number 7, Newburn number 2, Time Before Time number 8, Wastelanders Wolverine number 1, The Thing number 2, Adventure Man number 7, Black Manta number 4, Sweet Paprika number 6, Pennyworth number 5, Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries number 9, Deep Beyond number 11, Jupiter's Legacy Requiem number 6, 'Tis the Season to Be Freezin' number 1, Transformers More Than Meets the Eye number 38, Gun Honey number 4, Serial number 9, Regarding the Matter of Oswald's Body number 2, The Rush number 2, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero 289, Kazar, Lord of the Savage Land number 4, Out number 3, Army of Darkness 1979 number 4, Joy Operations number 2, Transformers Shattered Glass number 5, Cloaked number 1, a new one from Dark Horse, Exo Manowar number 9, Red Sonja, Black White Red number 5, Witchblood number 9, He Who Fights with Monsters number 4. What else? Elvira Meets Vincent Price number 4, loving that one. Heathens number 2 from Aftershock, Doctor Who Empire of Wolf number 2, Sheena Queen of the Jungle number 2, that was a good first issue. Vampirella Dracula Unholy number 1, The Firefly Holiday Special number 1, D&D Mindbreaker number 3, Purgatory number 3. Some of these may not actually drop. I'm just going to say that. Bountiful Garden number 4, We Have Demons number 3, that's Comixology. My Date with Monsters number 2, Life is Strange, Settling Dust number 3, We Ride Titans number 1, a new one from Vault Comics. No One Left to Fight Volume 2 number 3, Rick and Morty Corporate Assets number 2, Essentia number 11, Kiss Phantom Obsession number 4, Popstar Assassin number 3, No Holds Barred number 1, Nine Stones, number 5. A lot of comics out this week. Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Death, number 3. Mega, number 1. That's from Red 5. Night Janik, number 1 from Behemoth. Getting Dizzy, number 2. Rockabilly Monsters, number 1. Super Sleepy, number 1. And Tangled River, number 5. That's what's coming out this week. What are you looking forward to? While you're talking about that, it's time for the DC Comics sneak peek. All right, we're going to start with that 'Tis the Season to Be Freezin', issue number 1. So this is one of those $10, 80-page giant specials. There's 8 stories in there. There's only one that's really good. I'll be honest with y'all. The opening story is a Robin Mr. Free story by Alan Burnett and Paul Dini and Jordan Gibson. The artwork is straight out of the animated series. The writing is really solid. It's a good, super solid Tim Drake Robin Mr. Free's Christmas Tale. And it's the only good story in here. There's a Vixen story with the super pets. That was stupid. There was a Bizarro story, indecipherable. There was a Firestorm Killer Frost story. That was okay. There was a Polar Boy story. What the hell was that? There's a Harley Quinn Blue Snowman story. Eric Battle did the artwork. Haven't seen him in a while. No inker though. That heard it. Flash of Captain Cold, a story that started with promise and ended up stupid. And a JLQ story, Justly Queer. And don't pick this up. Maybe if you got time, just read the first story. It's 8 pages. That story's really good. Aside from that, whack. Black Mana, issue number 4. This book's not good. I keep reading it because I like Aquaman stuff. This book is not good. Do not pick this up. It's just not good. The dialogue's terrible. The artwork's getting really bad. And it's just not good. The Joker is here with issue number 10. Solid issue of the Joker. Kind of a little bit of an epilogue to Killing Joke. Francisco Francavilla is back on the artwork. Better than the last issue. I didn't feel that it was quite as rushed. I thought the coloring job was pretty cool. So it's a focus story on Gordon right after Killing Joke a little bit. He's still on leave from the GCPD. And I liked it. I thought it was cool. It starts folding in some stuff about little James, and that was cool. This was actually one of those rare instances where the Joker's doing a backstory on Gordon and Joker and the influence of the Joker on the Gordon family, and it's not something we've seen. So that was really good. I thought that was interesting. Then we have Batgirls issue number 1. It's okay. It's written by William Conrad and Becky Cloonan. It's a different style than what they're doing with Wonder Woman, which also has an issue out this week, but I'm not into that book right now, but I appreciate that they changed up their style. They're trying to make this book a little bit more fun. I do feel like Cassandra's slightly off, and I feel like Stephanie is slightly off character-wise. The artwork by Jorge Corona is really cool. Not as clean, I would say, as his work on the Me You Love in the Dark. But you also have a different colorist here, and I think the colorist is adding a lot of the grit. This has a grit textured approach to it. I really like the artwork in this book, but story-wise, I feel like the characters are just slightly off, just slightly to me. Not too much, really, to be of concern at this point, but there's not enough action in this book. It's too much just kind of casualness, not enough oomph. Needs to be a little bit more punchy. Then we've got Batman the Imposter issue number 3. This is the final issue of this DC Black Label series, which is written by Mattson Tomlin, who, of course, is the writer of the upcoming Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. And we got Andrea Sorrentino and Jordi Belair on the artwork. Artwork is phenomenal. Story's pretty decent. This book has not lived up to the promise set by the first issue, but it does end solid and have a solid run. This book could be perennial just on the artwork alone, but the story doesn't quite give us enough of something different to make it really stand out over time amongst all of the other Batman books. But that being said, it's still a very solid book, well executed, great artwork, and a solid enough ending for what this story started as, but it just doesn't quite deliver on the promise of issue number 1. But it's still good. Then we got Robin and Batman issue number 2 of 3, the penultimate issue. This was my favorite issue from DC this week. Loved it. Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen. It's great. It's like Robin year 1 type stuff when Dick Grayson first becomes Robin, but a little bit of a different spin on it. And the last issue, it had this really nice, bittersweet, somber approach to it. Very applicable to most books from Jeff Lemire. But the artwork was great. Nice watercolor design, focusing in on more of the emotional issues dealing with becoming Robin from Dick Grayson. In this one, he goes and meets the Teen Titans, or what will soon be the Teen Titans for the first time. Really great issue, hitting on the nuance, kind of detracting from the main thrust of the story. They set the main thrust back up towards the end, so this feels weirdly out of place in a 3-issue arc of focusing in on this for the second issue, but knowing now that the whole book is about what it felt like for Dick to come, why, like, the relationship with Bruce and Alfred and becoming Robin, that is laid to bear here. Really great stuff. Robin and Batman number 2. Highly recommend that. That was your DC Comics sneak peek. So there you go. Let's see what you're saying. Just say no to Black Manta, Robbie. No, I'm telling you to say no. I can't because I just buy everything Aquaman. Talks Quick says, can't wait to read The Walking Dead. I got in trouble, was tapping that corporate asset. Mike says, $10 comics are a no for me. I tell you, yeah, straight up, that's a no. One good story in that. One good story. Is the Joker another flashback story? Yes. And it's not advancing the story, but I did like it, and it was my favorite issue of Joker in the last few months, to be honest with you. I used to have a sizable amount of my DC on my pull list. Now it's like 2 books. I'm dropping down 2. I felt good about it. I didn't read a few this week. Yeah, the art in Batgirls is really good. The art is really good. We'll see what the story does. I just feel like the character's slightly off. There wasn't quite enough action there for me for a first issue. But I will definitely check out more. I'll read issue 2. Love Batman the Imposter status already. Over already. Yeah. Going to check out Batman the Imposter when the trade comes out, I think. John Stout says, DC is about 3/4 of my pull. The rest are indies. Tough to go wrong with Jeff Lemire, I agree. Easy Reader says, thanks for the honest reviews, Robbie. Well, you're welcome. It's the only way I know how to do them. And Officially Unofficial Geek says, love that watercolor style in that first issue of Robin and Batman. Me too. Really good stuff. There's the back cover. But it's a really... This book is going to be focusing on Dick's head as he becomes Robin. And for me, that makes it a solid issue number 2. William says, no comics to buy this week since money is going to Spider-Man the movie. Yeah, Spider-Man's out this week. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited for that one, y'all. Really, really am. All right, y'all, what do you want to chat about? Time to get in some topics of conversation. But while you guys are doing that, I want to remind you of what's coming up this week. We got the Scrooged movie review, PCP Movie Night, the last PCP Movie Night of 2021. When we return in 2022, the show is moving to Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. This is the last one on Friday. We're talking about Scrooged. But Dylan's Horror Show is always there, reliable on Saturdays. We're talking about Better Watch Out. It's a Christmas horror film from 2016. I have not seen it yet. Very excited, though, to check it out. Did I just call y'all dickheads? That's funny. The art lately of these black labels, Robin and Batman and the Batman Reptilian, awesome stuff. Yeah, I agree. Kevin says, Scrooge is my favorite Bill Murray movie. I really like that one. And what about Bob? Rushmore? Rushmore's a good one. Rushmore's a really good one. Yeah, everyone, keep good thoughts for George Perez as well. Hated to hear the news about George Perez, man. Legendary artist, sentimental runs, New Teen Titans, which I still have not read. Good chance to read it now. Groundhog Day, that's a good Bill Murray film. Good chance to go ahead and just decide to start jumping into that. Crisis on Infinite Earths, probably my personal favorite, as well as the Avengers run. He did one back in the day, but the late 90s one with Kurt Busiek, that's like one of my favorites. I loved Crimson Plague when it was coming out in its various iterations, but just not enough of it. JLA Avengers was amazing. Come on, his Justice League run, one of my favorite Justice League covers. I don't remember the issue number, but it's one with the whole team like flying at you. I have it. I have to find it to show it off again. But man. No, I have not read Hellsing. Yeah, Rushmore is a great movie. No, William, I haven't heard anything about DC or Marvel getting their act together to reprint JLA Avengers. It will probably happen, though, to be honest with you. I have the original issues, but it would be nice to have like a new like hardcover deluxe edition of it. Maybe an artist edition. Oh, that would be so amazing. You know, I'm not in artist edition, but kayfabe's getting me fucking wanting some artist editions. Damn it, those things are expensive. All right, after we fund PCP showing up at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, we're going to fund some artist editions. I forgot to pencil in the Hawkeye bit. We're talking about Hawkeye tonight too, y'all. Episodes 3 and 4. Bob says, my prediction is we will see Kingpin played by Vincent D'Onofrio in the Hawkeye show on Wednesday and Matt Murdock in the Spider-Man movie played by Charlie Cox, and then the world will be finally right for Bullseye Bob. I have some thoughts about Kingpin and Hawkeye. We'll get to that. But first, Bob, since you're here, I definitely want to do this while I know you're here. So you know my Sunday morning ritual. I like to wake up, have a bowl, watch a movie, bowl of cereal, of course. And I've been going through this kung fu journey. And Bob, please give me this right word. Before kung fu cinema, it was what? Was it wushu? Is it wushu? Whatever, like the more fantastical, wireworky, like out there type shit, right? And then they tried to make it grounded and gritty. I've been learning, bruh. I've been learning, Bob. I hope you're proud of me. Is it wushu? Wishu? Something like that? It's wushu, right? Anyway, please, Bob, let me know. Anyway, this is a movie that Bob recommended to me. And at first I was like, everybody recommends this movie. I was wanting to go deep. Like, I'm loving 36 Chambers of Shaolin. I'm loving 5 Deadly Venoms. I'm loving Hero. And Fist of Legend was all right, but I want to go back to some classic, really good shit that I missed. And he tells me to watch this one, and I'm like, that's a little too recent, right, bruh? And he's like, nah, man, watch it. I watched it this morning. All right, Bob, that doesn't help me. How do I pronounce it? Is it wuxia? Wuxia? Is that it? Wushu? How do I pronounce it? What is it phonetically, Bob? Anyway, the movie that he recommended me, is one of those movies that was recommended to me by so many people throughout the last like 10, 15 years that I just wasn't digging on it. I didn't really want to dig into it, but man, so glad I watched this movie. Way too much of a build-up. Tonight we're talking about Kung Fu Hustle, y'all. Kung Fu Hustle. I didn't write down what year this came out. It's part of me wants to say it was 2004. I don't know. Y'all want to correct me in the comments, and I can throw it out here. Directed by Stephen Chow, starring Stephen Chow, written by Stephen Chow, produced by Stephen Chow. He had done Shaolin Soccer. That's another one that I've heard of, but I have never watched. So this was my first Stephen Chow movie. Holy cat, this dude's amazing. Like, this movie was really good. I started watching this movie, and I was really kind of taken aback at first, and I was like, what's going on? This is really silly. And sometimes I don't like some of the sillier aspects of some of the Kung Fu movies that I've been watching. But man, holy cow, this one, when you're into it, works out. Like, to go back to what we were talking about earlier, if I canceled my viewing of this movie 5 minutes, 10 minutes into the movie, I would not have experienced the amazement that was Stephen Chow's Kung Fu Hustle. This movie's great. Stephen Chow plays this wannabe gangster. He wants to be hard, but he's not quite hard enough. You know what I'm saying? He's got this, like, he's like a con man. He's got this dude. Dude, like, they crack me up. They feel like a lot of characters that I recognize from anime with the characterizations and shit like that. That was really cool. Other characters are amazing. So there's this axe gang that's going around. And this movie has a very, like, Looney Tunes cartoon type approach. It's kind of like Shoot 'em Up with Clive Owen, how that was kind of like a Bugs Bunny movie. So is this, right? So, like, you literally see it visually and in the humor, and man, I loved it. So obviously the landlady, standout character. As soon as she shows up, I'm like, oh, I know this character. I've seen this referenced in so many different things. Man, she's amazing. The way that they flip expectations while you're watching this movie is really good. This is a very expertly written movie by Stephen Chow and the other writers, because if you read, like, Steve McGee's story and how, like, this nails it 100%. Like, the way each scene is crafted, the structure of everything, this is an impeccably written screenplay, to be honest with you. There's some bits maybe towards Act 3, but whatever. Then you got the landlord, the husband of the and, like, they play these, like, jokey ass characters at first, and then wind up being these, like, super badass, like, kung fu beings. And he was like Bruce Lee's, like, stunt double back in the day or some shit like that. But like I said, it's got that Looney Tunes kind of cartoonish approach to it in the midst of really kind of like referencing the old school, like, wuxia. Is it wuxia? The old school wire stuff with the more fantastical stuff, and then the more gritty, down-to-earth kung fu type stuff. But it does it really well, and it has this nice charm about it from all the characters. The fighting is dope, man. I love that bit. So it's basically about this neighborhood. Y'all probably have seen it. I'm the last person who hasn't seen it. But, like, it's about this, like, poor neighborhood that's, like, owned by this one landlady and her husband, and this gang gets, like, embroiled in conflict with them. And then, like, there's these dudes that show up, and they're badass, man. And the fighting is really cool, right? It's not focused on that, though. It's focused mostly, I think, on the comedic nature. But the fighting is there. The ridiculousness is there. It's grounded, and it's fantastical all at the same time. So I really like it for that. The villain, this dude, the Beast or whatever, bruh, he's considered like the third greatest Hong Kong cinema master actor outside of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Dude, this character was absolutely freaking amazing. And it does reference the Campbell hero's journey a lot. Like, Stephen Chow's character is, from a child, he is avoiding the call to adventure. And when he finally accepts the call and goes through his sacrifice, he comes back resurrected as a Bruce Lee type figure. This is very similar to what Bruce Lee is wearing at the end of Enter the Dragon. Pretty sure that's intentional. Great work. That's where you finally see him shine. And also, by the way, the cinematography in this movie is freaking amazing. Kung Fu Hustle. I love this film. Bob, great recommendation. Everybody, I should have listened to y'all a while ago. This movie slapped. It was great. I'm giving it 4.5. Ya digs. So there you go. Kung Fu Hustle. So what I thought about it. 4.5. Now, the next movie that Bob has me doing, and y'all let me know what you think about Kung Fu Hustle. What do you give it out of 5 possible you digs? I give it 4.5. But what do y'all give it? The next movie is a classic. Bob's already given it to me. I can't remember if it was from Facebook or Instagram, so let me look real quick. Well, if Bob remembers, he can just shout it out right now. Bob says 4.5, I will match that. Hell yeah. Fable says 4.5. Hell yeah. Mike says 4.5. Sounds about right. Yeah, Bob, there it is. I recognize that now. He says next should be The Mystery of Chess Boxing. Is that streaming somewhere? I'm going to have to call my dude, man. William says, still waiting on your review of Lady Snowblood. That's up to Bob whenever that happens. Next one is The Mystery of Chess Boxing. I've never heard of that one. Ever. JT says, Bob is your sensei on your Kung Fu journey. Hell yeah. Hey, Manny, Station. Manny, you did great on Friday night show, PCP Movie Night. You mentioned you're always nervous when you come on PCP Movie Night. No reason to be, bruh. You're one of us. You're part of the PCP crew. Excitable we are, bruh. And yeah, second that, Manny. Fable had an awesome show tonight. Skipintosh says, haven't seen The Mystery of Chess Boxing in years. I should rewatch. Caleb says, I'm a newer viewer. Explain the cereal boxes. I need to know. Me personally, big fan, Caleb, of cereal. I love cereal. There is a YouTube channel that I adore. One of my favorites called Cereal Time TV. This dude, Gabe, does amazing, quick reviews of cereal. He reviews the history of the cereal, and he gives you a little bit of a taste test. In his older videos, he like literally eats like 20-year-old cereal. He's gotten out of that, but Cereal Time TV, an amazing YouTube channel. In the background of all of his videos about cereal, he has a comic book. So I decided, being such a fan of his channel, that I was going to have a cereal box in the background of all of my videos. Plus, I just love cereal. So, Station. That's my LeBron James Lakers Wheaties box. It's been up here for months. I haven't been in Studio A for months. I feel good. I did Friday night here. I did Saturday night here. And I'm doing Sunday night here. I feel good. What's your favorite cereal? Mine is Mini Swirls. Like cinnamon. I love the cinnamon. What was Cinnabons? It's not Cinnabons. What was the name of that cereal from the 90s? It was the cinnamon. It was the little tiny cinnamon roll one. What was that cereal called? I can't remember the exact name. It was like orange in a blue highlight box. My favorite cereal of all time is totally Captain Crunch Peanut Butter. Peanut Butter Captain Crunch. Number 2, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Is any of this real? Let's be honest. Marshmallow Fruity Pebbles, did we make a mistake? Marshmallow Fruity Pebbles is good, but the problem is this, Manny. The mallows, cereal mallows, take a little bit longer to soak in the milk to be really good. So cereals like Lucky Charms hold up with that because they're oat-based, right? The rice-based, super thin, like crisps of Fruity Pebbles, they get soggy before the mallows are perfect. So you would think Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows would be good. But the problem is the timing is off. Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles is one of those cereals you got to eat 30 to 60 seconds. You got to start eating after it soaks in milk. Like, it's like the tiniest of time, okay? Cereals have a milk wait time. Fruity Pebbles is like the lowest on that list. But mallows take a little bit more time. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the problem there. Cinnamon mini buns. Yeah, mini buns. Yeah. Yeah. Cinnamon mini buns. Thank y'all so much. Skipitosh says, just sub to it. My roommate loves cereal. Hell yeah. It's good stuff. Perry chimes in now that we're talking about cereal. Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Frosted Flakes. They used to call me Tony in high school because I would always have a box of Frosted Flakes to sing the theme song. Hell yeah. Officially Unofficial Geek is all about Cookie Crisp. That's good stuff, man. It's not as good as it used to be, though. Milk or cereal in the bowl first? Are you fucking kidding me, JT? Cereal first. People that do milk first are what's wrong with the world. And with that, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back here on Rockin Robbie Live. Still got a lot more show to get to, y'all. This is how 4-hour shows are built. I can't promise nothing, but we'll see what happens. I'm just saying, like, we're on a crazy pace. When we come back, we'll be talking about Hawkeye, DC in the 80s, Ghostbusters, all that and more. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pop Culture Philosophers, everybody. Welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live. We've had a great show already. We're about to get into a hype second hour. Well, third hour, actually. Jesus. This might be a long one tonight, y'all. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Hawkeye in this segment, DC in the 80s, a special holiday edition, and Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on that. But I do want to address this. Caleb says, for real though, I really appreciate this dude, talking about me, putting out honest, well-versed, thought-out comic book critiques each week. A lot of these YouTube reviewers throw too many politics into their product. Thank you so much, Caleb. I will second what JT says. He says, may I respectively suggest Nick Comic Culture on Friday nights and then Fable throughout the link. If you like my reviews, I think you'll like Nick's. I think you'll like Verno over at the Cerebros. Please throw out a link for the Cerebros. I also think you'll like Jim Mint Collectibles and his weekly comic book review, new comic book day reviews. I think we're some of the best out there, no lie, and consistent. Does anyone else go into Monday with the Hellboy song stuck in their head? Yes, I do. Word on the street is that we may be retiring or semi-retiring the Hellboy song at the end of the year, which means that this is the penultimate episode to hear the Hellboy song. I'll go ahead and tell you this. We're trying to raise money right now to get our booth secured at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. Kevin Eastman's going to be there. I'm going to try to approach him to see if he wants to be on the show at some point. Try to build a relationship there somehow. I want to be there with our booth. We got to get that down. They're at the last few booths. We're going to go ahead and sign up, but we need the money to do it. It's a few $100s, but it's worth it. We got a lot of it already, but any help would be helpful. Find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. And of course, check us out on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, you should join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If one of the mods would throw out the link to the PCP Army on Facebook, that would be very helpful. You can follow me on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie. You can support the channel and help us get those goals over at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP Patriots right there, or with the Super Chat tonight, which will trigger a Joker video and a Hellboy song for now. But they are retiring relatively soon. Thank you all for sharing those links, y'all. I really appreciate you, Manny and Fable. OUG says, yeah, Nick is good. Pretty straightforward reviews. I can get politically every once in a while, but I know it's not for everyone. I try to be funny with it. Yeah, I don't care about the politics in comics as much. I know that's become more of the big deal. I don't give a shit about that. I just care about good comics. And when I call bullshit on something, it's not because I think there's an agenda or I think that there's some kind of political leaning or ulterior motive. It's because I think it's a shit comic. And when I think that Marvel and DC are taking advantage of us with their Spider-Man and their Batman books, I'll call it the fuck out, man. I don't give a shit. To the day, like, I don't ever want to stop doing the weekly comic book review. I never want to stop doing this stuff. So I'm always just going to be fucking honest with y'all. That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. Thank you, Perry. Well, I'll just say this. Perry Comics is the best reaction channel on YouTube. But Perry Comics is a lot more than just a reaction channel, my man. I love Perry so much. Perry, I'm going to send you the... Well, I got the first... unlike some people I know, Dylan, I plan our movie nights and reviews well in advance. So I'm going to send you the first 3 months of 2022's plan, and you let me know what you want to be on, and you can be on any of them. They're on Monday nights now, though, bro, in 2022. 8 p.m. Central, 9 your time. Bullshit is bullshit. Call that out. Hell yeah, I agree. Robbie proved it with Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, I said, here's the thing. I was dedicated to read the Nick Spencer run. Here's the thing. Here's something I haven't even heard people fucking talk about yet. Y'all ready for this? Okay. So they just announced free comic book day books, and Marvel's got 3 of them. Getting greedy. Why are they getting greedy, Robbie? They're free comics. Yeah, not to the fucking retailers, okay? They're getting greedy. All right, so here we go. The Spider-Man one is setting up the new, bold, and daring direction for Spider-Man. Holy shit. In May? Holy crap. Hold on, let's do it. Let's add it up. Maybe this is the reason why we're getting these point bullshit issues. Hold on. Issue 900. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? I mean, I don't like to toot my own horn too much. Just the right amount, but like, I fucking said that. I was like, this is a placeholder event until Spidey 900 or issue 1 after. Like, bruh, come on. Fuck Spider-Man. Fuck Spider-Man, man. Caleb says, that's why I like you, Rob. I can trust when you aren't into a book because of the merits of the issue. Yes, absolutely. Skip and Tosh says, same. I don't care about the politics. Just want good comics. Have whatever message you want to have or no message at all. Just make the story good, please. Yes, because messages, that's the thing. It's not like people say it's like the politics involved. Like, I get what they're saying, but it's about the message that they're trying to deliver. And there have been message-focused comic books out there in the past that have worked and whatnot, but it's about, is the comic book actually good, right? Comic Toby with the super chat. We really appreciate that. Yo, my son, I know how you like your soda. How can I get one of those Mexican apple sodas for your reaction? How can I get one of these Mexican apple sodas for your reaction taste test? What? How can you get one for my taste test? What? What are we talking about? I like a good Mexican apple soda, though. I'll tell you that. Thanks so much, bro. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nun who had sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil and monsters. Shit. And he fights with the man who's a fish named Abe. Now he fights with the fire starter named Liz. And an ectoplasmic mess named Johann. PPRD. Station everybody out there in PCP land. How are you doing? Notice I got Castle Grayskull back behind me because I found it in all this junk in the studio. Way, yo, whoa, whoa. And I am feeling it tonight. Thank you so much for the super chat, Comic Toby. We appreciate it. Let's see here. Bob said something nice. Bob said, I love pop culture philosophers, but the best is that Robbie became a homie and a dear friend. Bob, I say the same thing about everything comics. I fucking love you, bruh. Glad that we got to know each other. You're right, OUG. I did say that about Spidey. Just saying. Just saying. Same Big Herm, same Manny. JT says, Robbie reads it so we don't have to. Infinite respect for me and my wallet. Station. I know I cost you money, but when I can, I let you know not to spend money. If you want to break it down, I should do. If I ever got on TikTok, I would do these videos. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. You can buy that. You can buy that. Buy it. Buy it. There you go. Yeah, Fable didn't have a great show. All right. Enjoying the Spidey stuff. I'm happy for you, Big Herm. I really am. No, I'm not coming to TikTok Perry. Sorry. I can't do that. Hellboy with Thor's hammer is fire. Come on, you know it. Yeah, it really is. Nah, man, YouTube's enough for me to handle. Really. No, Twitch. Hey, Twitch, welcome. You have not missed Ghostbusters talk. We're not there yet. We're just now getting... God, fuck. We're just getting started. What we're about to do now is this. Talk about Hawkeye. So, let me warn you. If you have not watched episode 3 or 4 of Hawkeye, there are going to be spoilers in this discussion. Okay? And when we do talk about Ghostbusters, there will be spoilers for that too. Anyway, I'm going to edit your videos and make them into a TikTok. Bruh, I tell you what, Perry. I tell you what. Make a TikTok. You can do whatever you want. I trust you. There you go. You have TikTok duty if you want it, bro. It's all you. You do it if you want. I'll send you some random shit sometimes if you want. I will. Send me your actual number. Not here on chat, but privately. Send me your actual number. I'll text you. We'll get each other's number, and we can talk more about it, bro. Perry's great. I fucking love that dude. I fucking love Perry so fucking much, y'all. There are so many people that I have met here in this community that I now consider friends. And I always like to weird stretch and talk about friend of the show, John Lees, friend of the show, Joe Corallo, friend of the show, Ron B, friend of the show this, friend of the show that. Friend of the show, Bueller, Perry, Dylan, Manny, I mean, Bob. We could keep going on and on and on and on. I fucking love these people. Matt from Pressable Defects, Mia, Anna Mia, like Nick and Rex and John from Dynamite. Like, so many amazing people I have met. Jennifer from Comics Will Break Your Heart. Greg from Bearded Comic Bro. Will from the artist formerly known as Hero and the Kid. Will to Beast Fitness now. So many fantastic people I have met on this show. It's just freaking fantastic, man. The G-Spot. Like, I mean, I can't even name them all. Journo. And old dude over at Comic Book Canon. And AR. And fucking... I mean, Jesus Christ, y'all. Big Herm. Fable. Of course, the whole Bad Batch. Backlog Bros. All of y'all. Nick. TM Nerdy. Come on, Steph. Verno. Mark and Jasmine over at Geeks Unleashed. Come on, y'all. These are my homies now, man. Oh, Comic Toby with another super chat. We really appreciate it. What grinds my gear is these fellows that buy a $4 comic and try to sell it for $50 like you're winning a lottery ticket. Yeah, speculation is cool for the market in the short term, but not long term. We just need good stories. We do need speculation in the market, and it's healthy to have that there. It's good to have like a speculation drive in a corner of the market, but it's got to be backed up by really good stories and artwork. Don't you agree? All right, we're about to talk about Hawkeye, episode 3 and 4, spoiler talk, so you are warned, and now it's time for Shooting Straight. Is Hawkeye great? So we weren't here last week, so I didn't get to cover episode 3, so let me tell you what I thought about episode 3. Episode 3 was mostly the introduction of Echo into the series, and this to me was the weakest episode so far. Like, to be honest, I kind of rated 1 and 2 altogether at 4. I would give this one probably a 3. It was average, it was okay, and it was decent enough. I am very attached to the character Maya Lopez, aka Echo, in the comic books. I really feel like Parts of a Whole is one of my favorite Daredevil stories of all time. David Mack, Station, Joe Quesada, Station, Jimmy Palmiotti, Station. Come on, y'all. But this one just didn't quite capture me. I felt like there were some things off about the character. Motivation, in particular. They try to allude to the backstory a little bit. Give us some of that nuance, but we don't have it quite yet. The way that was structured, her reveal in the show, or in the Daredevil comic, was handled much better. This was okay. It was decent enough. I don't know why she's missing part of her leg. I don't know why she's not actually speaking. That's something Echo can do. Maya can speak, you know? So, I mean, I get what maybe they're not trying to have her be too powered, I guess. But anyway, Echo found me lacking. I am still really digging in episode 3 Kate Bishop. The friendship there with Clint that's building, that's budding, right? That we'll find out more. But I would give episode 3, honestly give it a 3. I thought it was okay. It was decent. But it wasn't like super fantastic or anything that blew me away. Especially the interpretation of Echo. But I am willing to let that kind of breathe out and see how that develops further. Now, we obviously have a tease that maybe there's somebody that who is her boss, right? Who is her boss? And a lot of people, including Bob, really believe it's Kingpin. I'm going to tell you all this straight up. And I told you earlier in the show that I have thoughts about this. I'm going to go ahead and say them. Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, is the Mephisto of Hawkeye. It is the character that we are all fucking expecting that ain't going to show up. I really feel like that's true. Does Echo's story work without Wilson Fisk or Matt Murdock? It can. It could. It could even be inserted into the Hawkeye story, Clint Barton and Kate Bishop, because of the MCU connection of Ronin already. I like how they're trying to connect those pieces. Clint Barton in the comic books was the first Ronin. Echo was the second. No, I fucked that up. Echo was the first Ronin. Clint Barton was the second. So they're kind of trying to pay some kind of inverted homage to that, and I appreciate that. But her leader, I don't think is Kingpin. I don't think we're getting Vincent D'Onofrio, but at the same time, I'm not trying to, right? Because in Loki, we were like, well, it's not Kang. It's not Kang. It was fucking a version of Kang. Let's be honest. I was wrong. A lot of us were wrong. It was a variant of Kang. You say what you will. It was He Who Remains, but it was fucking Kang, okay? So maybe they could do that, but I don't see it happening. I hope it does. But I don't think it's happening. We'll see what happens. Episode 4. I liked episode 4 to a point. Episode 4 is where I really started noticing something. First of all, Haley Statwell, whatever the hell her name is, fantastic as Kate Bishop. I said this in the Blame Fable Tonight show in the chat. Clint Barton has always been off in the MCU. But they are nailing Kate Bishop. They got Kate Bishop down. The problem is they don't have Clint. They never had Clint. And as Steph pointed out, and this is true, this version of Hawkeye is more based on the ultimate version of Hawkeye. Oh, the Ultimates. Okay, that's cool. But when you're pulling from the Matt Fraction, David Ajah run of Hawkeye with the tracksuit mafia and all that shit, you throw an Echo in. Can I get a little bit? I thought that this would be our opportunity to see a little bit more of the 616 Clint Barton. A little bit more of that smart-assness. A little bit more of that, I got a better idea than you. Not quite the losery approach that, say, Matthew Rosenberg or even Matt Fraction took, right? A melding of the two. We never got much personality from Hawkeye, and we're not getting so much here. We're getting ideas like they're like, they get things that they've set up things for Hawkeye, for Clint Barton in the MCU, in this show and in the movies where we're supposed to have empathy for him. He's got a family. He's got a hearing aid. He's got to be home at Christmas. He wants to do it. He's lost Natasha, his best friend. Like, all of that's there, but I'm not feeling it because there's no other personality for this character. In the MCU, I was hoping, because Jeremy Renner is very capable of delivering a really solid performance as Clint Barton and merging that ultimate MCU version in with a little bit of the snarky, overconfident, funner nature of 616 Clint. Right? He has the capability to do that, but they're not letting that happen. That dynamic, if he was just a little bit more, that would really work, especially against Kate Bishop, because they're nailing Kate Bishop. They got her to a T. The swordsman stuff, all that's interesting. The whole story, the way it's building up, interesting enough. Christmas setting, that's fine. Episode 4, I really liked. Because they're building that friendship, that relationship between Kate and Clint, where she shows up and they do the holiday bit, and then the talk with his mother about I will keep her safe and what that means to him. There are moments where Clint shines and it's true Clint, but if we could just get a little bit more. Like, how cool would it have been to see Clint in one of the Avengers movies disagree with Captain America's plan? Like, just a little, tiny little bit. Wouldn't that have been cool? Wouldn't it have been cool to have him have a closer relationship with, say, Scarlet Witch than Black Widow? But aside from that, we're getting the promise now of a cosplay-built Hawkeye costume, so we're going to get a sort of comic book accurate, and maybe we still have the potential. Maybe Clint's being set up as the Scrooge or the Grinch right now, and by the end of it, maybe we will get some of that, but this feels like the last hurrah of Clint Barton. So as much as I love Jeremy Renner, as much as I love the MCU, I just feel like Clint's never been one they've quite nailed. But if they're moving on from Clint to Kate, they have 100% nailed Kate. For episode 4, I will give this one a 4, you dig. So 4 for episode 1, 4 for episode 2, 3 for episode 3, and a 4 for episode 4. And that's what I think. What do you think about Hawkeye? Because I just want to shoot straight. Is Hawkeye great? Oh, and also they brought back Yelena. That's cool, I guess. Notice how that wasn't like here's the thing. This is one of the things why I don't think the Kingpin stuff's going to happen, because I think they think that's the big reveal. But it is what it is. Was it episode 3 that had the awesome car chase with Pym, Tech Arrow? Love that. I do like the car chase. You're right. I forgot that was the one with the car chase. It has some really good action. You're right. This is Maya stuff. 3.5. I'll go 3.5. I'll change it to 3.5. The Clint in this seems really broken and just two-dimensional. I agree. Hawkeye is setting up that his wife might be Mockingbird, but not Bobby. They've already done that. Justice for Palicki. Come on, y'all. That Pym trick arrow, that was a pretty dope scene, though. Like, I feel like that episode lost some of its momentum or some of its punchiness for me because I watched that scene in that, first look. Caleb says, I have to respectfully disagree. This Clint in relation to the MCU world as opposed to the comics has been layered and great. All right, fair enough. OUG says, but if Robbie is right and this is setting him up as the Scrooge character that gives him more depth. Yeah, it could. It could. Really good. Then we got Comic Toby with another super chat. Thank you so much. You want to see Hawkeye wearing a mask and a purple suit station. You have a safe and happy new year. You too, buddy. Thank you so much. Ignore what that says. Super chats go towards the table at the 2022 Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. I throw it down like that, see my name's a contact. The great communicator, yo, my spit's just like crack. That's a fact, don't be lax in this truth we can grasp. Like a sword in this battle of deception I attack. In front is the enemy, it's gonna be a victory. You're hearing me, just wait and see. Spears a possibility, flying through the air. The greatest of ease, penetrate the heart, bring a villain to his knees. All right, thank you so much, Comic Toby. We really do appreciate that. Station. All right, y'all, you know me. I think Halloween is the most wonderful time of the year. But to some people, this is the most wonderful time of the year. So that means Christmas time, holiday season. And it's time for a segment we haven't done in a minute, but it's exciting to do it again. It's time for... Totally hit the wrong button. Got confused by the DC terminology. So let me do that again. It's time for... DC in the 80s. And tonight we're talking about DC Comics Presents issue 67. This is a team-up story, Superman and Santa Claus in the DC Universe, 1984. This one's written by Len Wein with artwork by Kurt Swan. So let's dive into this. So it starts off with this kid trying to rob a storefront Santa. And Superman shows up because no crime is beneath Superman's notice. And by the way, the story is called Trust the Fright Before Christmas. There were other people involved. Their credits are right there. So this kid is sticking up a storefront Santa. Superman shows up to stop him. Kid shoots him with a toy gun. Turns out the kid's hypnotized. And he takes the kid to the Fortress of Solitude. Superman finds out, this is pre-crisis by the way, Superman finds out that the toy gun hypnotized the kid as soon as he fired it to go and commit crimes and take the money to the Shot Toy Company, or to steal toys and take the toys to the Shot Toy Company. Oh, guess who that means? That means Toy Man. Superman figures this out pretty quick. He understands what's going on. He's talking to the kid. By the way, Superman very reassuring of this child. He locks up the Fortress of Solitude, and then he flies the kid back to safety. However, the kid has this other toy with him that the ray hits Superman and knocks him the fuck out. So him and the kid, notice the kid is wrapped up in his cape so that he can survive the Arctic weather. Superman gets knocked the fuck out there in the Arctic snow, the Arctic freeze, which of course we know is close to the North Pole, right? So anyway, Superman is there dying. The kid will die eventually, but these mysterious magical elves show up and they take Superman away. Meanwhile, yes, it is the Toyman's plot. He's got a plot to like have all these hidden messages and kids' toys and like take over the world or some shit. Who knows, man? It's just Toyman stuff, right? Then Superman wakes up and he's got these crazy elves around him and he's like, what the hell's going on? Notice the artwork in this book. Really solid stuff. It's very house style. It's very on the point, on the nose, but it's Kurt Swan doing Superman. It's a great classic looking Superman. You even have some interesting composition like you have here. Then, yep, there you go. Superman has been saved by Santa's elves. He is now there in the North Pole. And Superman's like, yo, I live up here. Like, my Fortress of Solitude is here. I should know. And Kris Kringle, Santa Claus, is like, yo, man, not if I don't want you to know. I'm magic, yo. And we know Superman is vulnerable to magic, right? So anyway, they realize that there's this plot by Toyman. So it turns out that Santa Claus, my bad, is spying on absolutely frickin' everyone. Okay? like that's what he does. To tell if you're naughty or nice. He's spying on the Toyman. They figure out that he's up to no good. They decide that they need to gather their forces and go and stop the Toyman together, Santa and Superman. Meanwhile, Superman recollects on a Kryptonian toy he had when he was a kid. He has this really nice bit where he says, we always have nostalgia or something like for the very first toys we remember. And he remembers this like mental thought projector toy he had as a kid on Krypton, which is obviously making an homage to Battle Cat from Motu. That's dope. So Santa and Superman go off together to stop the Toyman. This is really fun stuff, y'all. And Superman shows up. They just start blasting, right? All these toys start fighting Superman. Superman gets hit with his energy rays that starts like making him feel heavy or whatever. Look at some really great... Hit the wrong button. Look at some really great composition here from Kurt Swan and company. Like some of it's standard and normal, but then you start breaking the mold a little bit. A little bit more. Like, look at that panel right there, how it breaks the panel. That's pretty cool for 84. But yeah, standard type stuff. And then it starts breaking a little bit more, doing some cool things with the action sequences. Superman and Santa versus... So Superman's there fighting the Toyman's evil toys. Santa adds in his own toys. And now you got toys versus toys and all that kind of stuff. That's some great composition right there. Right there, too. So now you got Santa's toys versus Toyman's toys. Santa Toys wins, by the way. There's not much to this story, to be honest with you. But it's a nice, fun holiday type classic Superman tale that if you have kids, for instance, you could totally read this comic book with them, you know, bedtime around Christmas time. And it would be really cool. So they wind up taking the Toyman in. And yeah, that's the whole point right there, right? Santa and Superman team up. They defeat the Toyman. And then they drop off this kid who's been helping them. He has a nice, happy Christmas. Superman goes and replaces all the Toyman messed up toys with real toys. And then all of a sudden, it's over and he wakes up. He gets hit by the ray again and he wakes up. And it's like it was all a dream. It never happened, right? The kid's still there. He's still there. They're in the Arctic. He takes them to safety, takes them to his parents. They're all cool that Superman kidnapped their kid for the day. And then he gets home and realizes that apparently Superman has this pouch in the inside of his cape that keeps all of his clothes in it. That's interesting. But inside of it, he finds out that he's got this mental projection toy that he loved from Krypton. And he's like, but was it real? It was real. Superman's vulnerable to magic. Superman teaming up with Santa Claus, y'all. That was some fun stuff. So here's my copy right here. We're going to pull it out of the bag. We're going to take a look at it because there's some fun stuff here. So this was a real fun issue. First of all, it says there's a Teen Titans poster by George Perez. That is not in the one that I have, unfortunately. We got this great back ad for the Motu video game. Look at that. Commodore 64 and shit. I want to play that. I've never played that. But it's a fun issue, man. This is a really fun issue to read. Like I said, if you have kids or even if you just have pets, it really works. The newsprint, I really like the newsprint. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of Cartoonist Kayfabe, I like the idea of how the coloring works on newsprint back in the day. Like, I can dig, like, the recolorings, the more bold, poppy colors on things like the 60s stuff. But, like, when it comes to 80s, I prefer the newsprint. 80s and 90s. Doesn't quite work on the glossy paper for me. But a real fun comic book that's a really nice thing to reread around the holiday season. I do want to point out there's this ad here. All right, so there's an ad for this, like, first of all, there's an ad for a fucking fishing pole in a comic, right? That's wild. And it's a licensed Marvel ad, so Spider-Man's there. This is a DC comic with a fishing pole ad with Spider-Man selling it and not Superman. How freaking wild is that, man? But no, I really like this issue. I think it's solid. Look at those ads, man. Those are Remco figures? Yeah, man. I'd like to get a hold of some of those. I want one of those damn tents. Remember that spaceship tent? I was like, I want one of those. But it's a really fun story. It's classic. It's cool. It's fun. It's cheesy. It's dumb. But at the same time, it just really hits all of those things for you. So all in all, I'd give it this issue a 3.5. You digs, which I think is pretty solid for what it is. And that has been DC in the 80s. So there you go. How's everybody doing? Let's see what everybody was saying. Big Herm says, this story is wild. Yes, it is. Mike says, Kurt Swan is just classic Superman. I agree. Wait, is that looking like Battle Cat? Absolutely. Toyman measured Superman for toy dildos. That's funny. Reminds me of the toy battles from the Robin Williams movie Toys. John Stout says, when you said gathered their forces, it instantly made me think of Magneto and Titanium Man by PM and Wings. OUG says, yeah, no kids, but I am sure that my cats might dig it. My cat dug it. She really did. Mod DJ 8000 says, bro is right about newsprint. Back issues for life. Station, especially when it comes to 80s. I will say, especially when it comes to 70s, 80s, and 90s. In particular, man. Like 60s and beyond, I can kind of deal with. Just because I can't afford them. Hey, Jelani's in the house, everybody. Hey, guys, that book looks great. Join Jelani with me and others. Friday night, Scrooged movie review. The last PCP movie night of the year. The last one on Friday night. Before we move to Monday nights. In 2022. Jelani will also be here with us on the Festivus stream. I got the poll ready. Get your Festivus polls ready, is everybody. Yeah, it's making me want to really collect more things. Like, for instance, my number one thing that I'm trying to find comic book wise right now is an affordable copy of Hulk 340. Because I want to collect every issue of the Peter David run of Hulk. That's a goal of mine. 340 is going to be the most difficult one to get at a reasonable rate. I want it 4.0, y'all. If you got a line in on one, let me know. Cheap reader copy, y'all. Jelani says, yes, I will be there. I have grievances. Speaking of grievances, let's get into the next movie review. We're going to be spoiling a little bit of Ghostbusters Afterlife. If you don't want that spoiled, you might want to dip out for the next 5 minutes or so. But it's time for me to talk about my thoughts on Ghostbusters Afterlife. This movie's just okay. It's just okay. It's better than the 2016 one. I'll tell you that. I really will. Aside from that, it's kind of all over the place. It doesn't really settle for me. And it was just okay. So first of all, the cast of kids, they do decent enough. The story is decent enough. It's about Egon's daughter's family kind of hitting in on rough times. They go and live in his old house where he's somehow stolen all the Ghostbusters tech and he's taken it and he's trying to stop this one evil from rising. So there's this sacrificial element to Egon's absence. But I really think that they handled the legacy of Egon very well in the film. There are things that the film does well, but a lot that I just don't think it really does very well. The kids are decent enough. You know, the mystery of finding the Ecto-1, it starts tingling the right bells in the first act or two of the film, and that is decent enough. My favorite performer in this movie is 100% Egon's granddaughter. She is freaking fantastic. She's the best part of this. If they would have focused a little bit more just on her, maybe I could have dug in. Her brother is the kid from Stranger Things. I couldn't stand the character, couldn't stand the kid, didn't care about him or his story or his friend. Paul Rudd is really good in the movie. I really love Paul Rudd in the movie. And in fact, some of the best parts in the movie are when Paul Rudd is working with Podcast and Egon's granddaughter, and the movie starts moving. It starts jumping. It starts picking up some momentum. And the movie really has a nice pace from that point forward. Paul Rudd has a great scene with these little marshmallow dudes. And yeah, it makes no sense while what is happening, the plot of the movie, it doesn't really make sense why these marshmallows are randomly coming to life, but it's a really cute scene. And what's really funny is that they're not just done in a cute Baby Groot type way, but they're roasting each other and running each other over and killing each other. Pretty cool. That being said, Egon's daughter, is that Phoebe? Yeah, Phoebe's mother, terrible. One note. No matter, somebody shows up and she goes, "Hey, I like chocolate ice cream." She goes, "Well, I never had chocolate ice cream with my father." Like one of those kind of things. It's just really, really obnoxious. Special effects are great for what there are. You know, if they would have spent more time with Paul Rudd and those kids and built that up, that could have been really special. That could have really worked. But like I said, Podcast, Phoebe, they're great. Paul Rudd's great. When they're with them, Paul Rudd gets taken out of the movie way too quick. Even though it looks great, it's got some decent music. It has a nice feel to it. All this movie does is tries to recapture the magic of the first Ghostbusters film by recreating the story. This is the Star Wars Force Awakens of the Ghostbusters universe. It literally is the exact same damn story, almost to a point. There's slight differences, obviously, but the one main ghost that they do kind of focus on before they get to the big villain is not Slimer, but another ghost named Muncher, who eats a bunch of shit. Sound familiar? Okay. When they do get to the ghosts, by the way, they don't really use them enough, so the scope doesn't feel there. It really doesn't. The scope of this movie is not comparable to the first one or the second one. And yeah, like I said, The Force Awakens of Ghostbusters. They're just literally doing the same fucking movie. Zool is the villain again. Are you serious? And guess what Zool's plan is? Fucking Gozer. Resurrecting Gozer, but now in Oklahoma? Oh, no, guys. It's way different than the first Ghostbusters because it's in Oklahoma. You gotta be bullshitting me. It respects the legacy of of Ghostbusters pretty decently enough. But when they do finally show up at the end, it feels cheap, unearned, and it doesn't feel or pack the punch that it should have. Maybe one of these characters should have been more involved in the movie. Maybe the new iteration of the Ghostbusters should have been Ray and Paul Rudd and Phoebe and Podcast. I don't know. I thought it was okay. It was decent enough, but it didn't live up to the first two, but it was better than the last one. But it didn't give us Ecto Cooler. I'm going to give Ghostbusters Afterlife 3 ya digs. Average movie. The Force Awakens of Ghostbusters. Playing it safe to its detriment. If you've watched this movie, what did you think? How many ya digs do you give it out of 5? So I want to know what y'all think. I really do. And while you let me know what you think, we're taking a quick break. We'll be right back here on Rockin Robbie Live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live. Here in the final act, man. We're having a great show tonight. Twitch says he was like 69. Nice, dude. Nice. Join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, follow Pop Culture Philosophers there. We're also on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. And check out PopCulturePhilosophers.com for podcasts and more. If you want to support the channel, you can do so at Patreon.com/PCP on a monthly basis, like these fine patrons right there. Or you can do so with the Super Chat tonight, which will trigger one of the final Joker/Hellboy song videos of the year and ever. Maybe. Semi-retirement. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get to 2022. Anyway, we had a Super Chat before I left. It was from Comic Toby. We really appreciate it. Have you seen Flora and Ulysses? It's a comic book movie on Disney. I want you to watch it with all your friends and make a program of it like you do. I haven't heard of it, haven't seen it. We'll see. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Mario. Oh, he's coming straight from Mario Part 3.0. Don't you know? Oh. He's coming in this dire hour of he's got to stop us from Bowser's heinous power. Don't you know? I'm all over, don't you know? But he needs some help from the man who can stop this evil Bowser reign. He gets no help from Uncle Scrooge, 'cause he's just jumping on Hellboy. But the one man who can come in his stead, John Rambo. What? Can Rambo save the day against King Koopa? And I'm not talking about the Dennis Hoffman bullshit. I'm talking about the real Bowser for the Power Hour. Don't you know? I think I'm done. Oh, don't you know? Walking around, how do you hear the sound? Rambo's doing no good. Rambo wasn't helping out there anyway. We really appreciate that. We're talking about Ghostbusters. Fargate says B+. He says, Robbie, that was great when they showed up at the end. I get it. I feel you. OUG says, yeah, what the heck was Ecto Cooler? Yeah, some bullshit. Jelani watched it. Jelani, what'd you give it? Out of 5 you digs. Are you still here? Fargate gives it 3.3. Twitch, who I do believe liked this movie, says, the movie had to address Harold Ramis' death and was built around that. I actually thought Paul Rudd was the worst part of the movie, as his delivery was more akin to a Judd Apatow flick. Then it goes on, he says, I actually thought it came together well in the end. So much of the movie was about being comfortable in being you. It dealt with the mother's sense of abandonment and wanting to give up on the world. Okay, fair enough. What do you give it out of 5 you digs, Twitch? That's what I want to know. Fargate says, the Ghostbusters car with the new gadgets was cool. I agree, that was cool. That's where it starts working. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. 3 is average. It's average. A disappointment to me because I was wanting more than average, but it was good. It was solid enough for me. Twitch says, the appearance at the end works so well for me. Okay. Evil Face Bad says, enjoyed it and got some of the new toys off the new figure line. They already seem to be jumping in price, but I never resell. I take things to the grave. They also set up future movies that could be really cool. Focus more on Paul Rudd. Focus more on Phoebe. Podcast maybe. Less on her brother. There you go. Evil Face Bad. What's your thoughts on the death of Anne Rice? A tragic passing for a lot of people in the community, obviously. I never read Anne Price books, so I was never really invested in that stuff. I did like the Interview with the Vampire movie. I did not like Queen of the Damned. So I recognize it for what it is, which is a sad passing of a creator of a lot of fiction, vampire fiction, that gave a lot of people joy and pleasure. So that's a sad moment. Oh, Jelani said never watched it. Waiting on Drew Plus. I gotcha, brother. I would say this is a wait for movie. I would say. John Stout says, I'm sad. She's one of my favorite authors. I met her and got her autograph and a copy of Minoke the Devil. Crazy. You know what? We got one more Rockin' Robbie Live this year. That's next week. Y'all want to do a Teen Dog Shades night? If you want to do a Teen Dog Shades night, let me see your shade glasses, your Teen Dog Shades emojis. Let me see them. Let me see them in the chat. I want to see. You can just do the smiley face with the sunglasses. You want a Teen Dog Shades night next week for the final stream, Rockin' Robbie Live of the year? I feel like putting something together. Because believe it or not, my Atlantis ramble is one of my videos that gets viewed every fucking day. Can you fucking believe that? Seriously, my goddamn fucking Atlantis ramble on Rockin' Robbie Live's Teen Dog Shades Night is one of those videos that gets fucking watched every day by random people. Not people that are here all the time, but people just come across that video. Like they're just typing in Atlantis shit and YouTube, and our shit pops up. How cool is that, y'all? I see a lot. Okay, y'all want a Teen Dog Shades night next week. Let's do it. Y'all ready for that? Come on, man. Let's talk about the true meaning of Christmas. How about that? Ooh, a Christmas-themed Teen Dog Shades night. Ooh. Let me make sure I write that down. Ooh. Ooh. Xmas-themed Teen Dog. Hell yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it, y'all, next week. We're doing it up. Big Herm says, Anne Rice books are amazing. Sorry you didn't get to enjoy them, Robbie. Maybe I still can, bro. That's the cool thing, is I still get to enjoy them, right? I can, what's the best one? All the Anne Rice fans out there, what's the best one? Is it the Vampire Chronicles stuff? The Lestat Chronicles or whatever the fuck they call it? I see, I was like, we see a lot of Teen Dog Shades emojis out there, but it's really just from Herm, Taki, Perry, Kirby, Eric, and Jelani. That's just 6. I don't know if that really justifies a Teen Dog Shades night. Not when there's 49 people here. Start with Interview the Vampire. The Vampire Lestat's one of my favorites. Yeah, Fable was talking about that. What's a word that rhymes with quickness, thickness, and sickness? I need one. Someone help me out. I need a word that rhymes with sickness, thickness, and quickness. I need one more word. I have a plan. If y'all could help me out, I'd appreciate that. What's up, everybody? 3 hours into a Rockin' Robbie Live. Y'all are the 48 motherfuckers that are really into it. Witness? Quickness, witness. Can we get some slickness? Ooh. I like slickness. That's good. Fitness. That's great. Fitness word like this. Come on, bro. We're trying to stick this. Grip tits. Y'all funny. All right, y'all. It's time to do a top 5. We're going into the 70s. Top 5 1971 movies, y'all. Y'all ready for this? At number 5, I've got The Big Boss. Bruce Lee movie. Love this movie. I watched the Bruce Lee movies earlier this year. Covered them here on Rockin Robbie Live. I went through my journey there. I've been planning on cutting those all together and be like, Robbie watches Bruce Lee movies for the first time. We did it after the Enter the Dragon movie review that we did in May. Brooks pick for PCP crew pick, Crew's Choice Month, I should say. Loved this movie. Thought it was great. I love the Ice Factory bit. I thought it was a really solid movie. I thought it was great. Here's the thing, though. Going back, like, the 70s movies, like these early 70s, I wasn't familiar with a lot of these. Like, I will have a couple honorable mentions. Stray Dogs. Or not Stray Dogs. Jesus. Straw Dogs. Straw Dogs is my honorable mention. But number 5, I got The Big Boss. At number 4, I got Diamonds Are Forever. You know, we got the PCP podcast coming back in January. And we're going through we're doing James Bond. We're doing the Bond cast is to start with it, right? So Diamonds Are Forever is a really solid Bond film. I like it. Sean Connery coming back to reprise his role, like doing a really good job with it. Great theme, great poster art. At number 3, I got Clockwork Orange. It's not my favorite Stanley Kubrick film, but it is a very important film, and I think that it is a solid film. It says a lot. I think it's something that's necessary, but it is uncomfortable to watch. But out of 1971, I do think that this was probably one of the year's best. Stanley Kubrick, like I said, not my favorite. I love 2001. I love The Shining. But this one and Full Metal, those are movies that are uncomfortable to watch, but very necessary to watch for me. At number 2, I got Dirty Harry. Come on, y'all. Dirty Harry's like just such a great film. Like Clint Eastwood, the whole damn thing. We've talked about it before on the podcast and in the SOE days, but we really need to do a Dirty Harry rewatch soon. But the first movie really establishes a whole lot of stuff. It really does get better by the second and third movie, and then kind of falls out, sudden impact and shit. But anyway, Dirty Harry maintains its status as a classic, and it was no question for me. At number 1, I got The French Connection. William Friedkin. This movie is great. Gene Hackman. It's an action movie, cop drama, but it's not like, it's got a lot of gray areas. It's not all about evil and good being like black and white. It's like, there's a lot of nuance to it as far as criminality goes, and I really like it. And it actually has a really great pace. It gets quoted as being having one of the best car chases out there, but it's a really interesting chase. Like it's alluded to there on the poster, but this movie's amazing. I intended to cover it this year on Action Fest, but it didn't actually happen to come together. But we're definitely going to be talking about The French Connection soon. So my top 5 movies in 1971, I want to know what yours are. Throw them out. But my number 5 is The Big Boss. My number 4 is Diamonds Are Forever. My number 3 is A Clockwork Orange. My number 2 is Dirty Harry. And my number 1 is The French Connection. I want to know what your top 5 movies in 1971 are. That's mine. So what do y'all got? You got Blazing Saddles? I didn't see that on the list. It might have. No, that's 74. Yeah, Blazing Saddles 74. Aha. Thought I missed one again. Like I missed in 1970 with Little Big Man. Jesus. What's wrong with me? Mike says, shit, the year I was born, Clockwork Orange. Hell yeah. Litmus is in the test. Yeah, I like that. What are y'all favorite 1971 movies? Did we go too far back? Because I know that once we hit like 74 and on, like I'll be able to fill out a list plus honorable mentions. But this one, 70 and 71 were yeah. There's just, honestly, I haven't watched, I've never seen Play Misty for me. The Clint Eastwood film. Is that one good? And there's a Vampiros Lesbos movie. Never seen that. Let me tell you something. I want to see it. But yeah, those are out of otherwise. Straw Dogs is an honorable mention. There's another Planet of the Apes movies though out there. Oh, and the Abominable Dr. Phibes is on there. That's an honorable mention. Taki says, too far for me. No, we're talking 1971 movies. Willy Wonka is later than that, right? Yeah, that's 71? How did I miss that? Apparently I suck at fucking top one. What the how did I miss that? That changes it. It changes it. It really does. God damn it. How did I miss Willy Wonka? Where'd you get the list from? Fucking Wikipedia, man. I just keep fucking missing shit. Damn it. I went through that list like, how did I miss Willy fucking Wonka? It's because it was W and I got to the end of the list. I was like, oh, they're done. Jesus. Yeah, Willy Wonka's on there. God. What was my list again? I'm such a scrub. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, you gotta move Big Boss out. Then Willy Wonka's gonna be in right behind Clockwork Orange. Jesus. Goodness me. Why do I even do this? I'm ashamed. We got to pause for station identification. Damn it. Damn it. Big Herm says, never underestimate any letter. Taki says, get to W, peace. No, I don't use Letterboxd. I don't have time for anything else, bro. All right, it's time for show and tell. Damn it. Why do I keep butchering these? That's 2 in a row that I forgot movies on. That's why I can't clip these out to do like a Robbie's favorite movies of the 70s, because I fucked it all up. Show and tell. I just grabbed a random stack from the comics shelf over there because now I got things more in order. In that stack was this, the unauthorized Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles quiz book. This has got to be from like the late 80s, early 90s. $19.90. I was thinking to myself, let's ask a question and see if anybody knows it. Here's the first question I just randomly popped up to. Exactly how long does the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles motion picture film run? 86 minutes, 93 minutes, or 107 minutes? What? You gotta be kidding me. Anybody know that? Facts and figures, okay. Motion picture facts and figures. There it is. B. 93 minutes, y'all. 93 minutes. 93 minutes. How did I forget Willy fucking Wonka? Little Big Man. I forgot the goddamn Dark Knight trilogy in my top 5 trilogies. Jesus. I should stop doing these top 5s for a while. No top 5 next week. No top 5 next week. I need to take a show off. It doesn't change my number 1. CTA Frank is here. Billy Jack, Shaft, Omega Man, Brian Song. Brian Song's a good one. Thought about that. Duel was, I was thinking about that. Yeah, there's the 93 minutes. So just remember that. But anyway, random stack of comics. Let's check it out. We have Marvel Frontier Comics, Mortigan Coin, Immortalis. I have no idea what the fuck that is, but it was a shiny cover. And then I got the same, like, Frontier Comics, Dances with Demons. I have no idea what the fuck these are. I thought these were part of the Clive Barker line, Razor line or whatever, but no, that's a Charlie Atlard cover from Walking Dead. Wild. There's It Eats What Feeds It, issue number 1. It's randomly in a stack. There's my What If number 1. It's just randomly laid out in a stack. I love this fucking comic. What If number 1. I bought all the What Ifs that had anything to do with Fantastic Four. There's some Razor line shit. That's Hyperkind, issue number 1, embossed foil cover. And there's Saint Sinner, issue number, which one is that? 2. And Hoxham and Hex. Is that issue number 1? Yeah, because it's embossed. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Just a random stack of comics I picked up from over there. So I've been talking about cartoonist kayfabe. How far has the effect really hit me? Well, I already had the original issues for this, but when I found out that there were reprints of classic issues recolored by Ed Piscor, I had to get them. So I got the treasury-sized editions of X-Men Grand Design, Volume 1. It's the wrong volume right there. There's Volume 3. There's Volume 2. Had to get those. Hate that they changed the spine there. But yeah, bruh. Fantastic. And had to get the Tom Scioli Fantastic Four one. In fact, I bought that one first just to feel good as a Fantastic Four fan. So that's real good stuff. Really fantastic. That has Fantastic Four issue number, is that 50? 51? This Man, This Monster. But colored by Ed Piscor. Freaking amazing. And Jim Rugg doing a Hulk Grand Design. My pick for next, Jim Mahfood, Spider-Man. How about that? All right, I've been talking about this a lot on PCP Movie Night Show and Tells or Backchat Show and Tells and Dylan's Horror Show, but especially because I have really gotten deep into cartoonist kayfabe, because I watched one of their videos for my Weapon X review. I just wanted to hear some other opinions on it, and I checked out their video, and I've been sunk in. My favorite thing they do right now is the Todd McFarlane, Neil Gaiman depositions on Monday, so I'm really looking forward to that tomorrow. So my plan, this is what I've been doing on Mondays, is I go in to work, I start doing my work, and I listen to Bueller and Bob's show. And then after that, I check out Kayfabe's courtroom drama. Anyway, I came across a random one of theirs where they were talking about the complete 8-ball or some shit. And I was like, bruh, Daniel Clowes. I haven't thought of Daniel Clowes in forever. I was really big into Daniel Clowes in the early 2000s, coinciding with the release of Ghost World. That's kind of what brought me in. But my buddy Gillespie had been trying to get me in on 8-ball for a while. So I'm trying to build up my Daniel Clowes collection, because I did a huge purge like 10 years ago. And I got rid of a lot of shit. And I did it for a relationship I probably shouldn't have. But I'm regaining some things in and getting some new stuff that I didn't have. But Daniel Clowes, Poussey, if you've never read these books, you'll definitely see me doing content on these soon, because I plan on diving back in. Like a Velvet Glove, Cast in Iron. The aforementioned Ghost World, that's what the movie was based on. Some ones I've never read. Daniel Boring. And I saw the video that Ed and Jim did on The Death Ray, and I'm really excited to dig into that. Daniel Clowes, an amazing comic book creator, great writer, Academy Award nominated. Hell yeah. Outside of that, it's pretty much all we got. We got a super chat from Comic Toby. Says, I just noticed what you don't have is spam. What I just noticed is you don't get spam in your live chat about the ladies in HD or whatever it's called. Yeah, well, yeah. There's been some bad ones. Thank you so much. All right, man, we really do appreciate everybody being here tonight. Now we're on to the final 9, going through my Blu-ray collection. We were in the H's. Hairspray. Look at that movie. That movie stop thing right there. So Hairspray. Love this movie, man. Really freaking do. There's my Halloween box set from Scream Factory. I don't have the big one, but I got this little one. But it does me well, because you can't really get this all together in much. And like we said, if it's all in one set, if they're not individually cased, they count as one. So Halloween. Then, yeah, there's the 2018 Halloween. I'm not really the biggest fan, but had to have it to complete the collection. Hammer Films double feature. That's why it's there. This is Maniac and Die Die, My Darling. Never seen either of these. I need to do those. There's my Hannibal Lecter collection. What I love about this collection is that it has Manhunter and not Red Dragon. I would definitely prefer the Scream Factory Manhunter edition, but that one's out of print and very expensive. But this has Manhunter, Silence of the Lambs, and Hannibal. It's appropriate enough for me. Happy Birthday to Me I got with the slip. Really great one. Like, that's a cool enough cover, I guess, but I love that. The original VHS cover. Love these VHS slips that they do. They look really great on the shelf, too. Really, really do. Then, Harry Potter 8-film collection. All cases 1 with the slip. There it is. All 8 films. I like the Harry Potter franchise. Then we got Hatchet. It's my copy of Hatchet number 1, given to me by Jay Strick, autographed by Adam Green, the director. How cool is that? The only thing cooler than Hatchet number 1 signed by Adam Green is a Hatchet number 2 signed by Adam Green. How cool is that? And do I have the other signed? I mean, I do, but you'll have to wait to find out next time on Rockin Robbie Live. That was the final 9. Hell yeah. I love people who are like, I've never heard of those damn comics. I know. What are those? I have no idea either. I'm going to have to look into it. Hairspray, nice. Yeah, I love that movie, man. That movie still has a message that's very appropriate today, right? Seriously. And I know that I told everybody last night on Dylan's Horror Show that we were opening up the Spawn. Well, I ain't kidding. Anyway, that is the end of the show for now. We'll see you next week. Thank you all for being here. I do want to point out once again, visit dynamicforces.com, enter Robbie at your cart to receive 10% off, and join me over at The Experience tomorrow night with Rex and John from Dynamic Forces and Dynamite Entertainment. Some great comic book and pop culture conversation, some great collectibles available. Y'all, someone got a Deja Thoris, super sexy, awesome, like black and white statue with like gold coloring on it for $130. That was crazy. Join us Friday night, PCP movie night, the last one of the year, Scrooged. Then the following night on Dylan's Horror Show. Congrats to Dylan for 900 subscribers. Join us for Better Watch Out. Never seen that one, so I'm excited to check it out. Anyway, that's what we got for you tonight. Y'all guys have been great. We really do. A proud of Freddy Got Fingered signed by Tom Green. I would take one if it was given to me, but I don't have one, to be honest. So, hate to let y'all down. Really do. Anyway, y'all have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Live your life. Station, we really do appreciate everything. Y'all have a good one. We're dipping out. Thanks for rocking with us. Yeah. Here we go, everybody. Merry Christmas. PCP coming out with the sickness. And you know, Rockin Robbie with the quickness. Come around, cause you know I'm the slickest. Let me tell you, everybody love the thickness. And you know how we get it with the fitness. Everybody, and you know, get the witness. Yo, we like to grip tits. What? We can work that. We can workshop that. Yo. Hey, everybody, Merry Christmas. PCP is the cure for the sickness. Rockin Robbie coming live with the quickness. Yo, and you know he's the slickest. That worked. And then you can be like, hold on, you'd be like, yo. Digging girls that are driving with the thickness. And you know that he down with the fitness. I can't workshop the rest. Y'all get it. Slickness, grip, tits, everybody fitness. Everybody knows what's going round. PCP bringing love to all the boys and girls in the world. If you spin your twirl. Peace for the world. Yes. But we all go, Merry Christmas. PCP is the cure for the sickness. Rockin Robbie coming around with the quickness. And you know that this motherfucker slickness all oozes all around. Don't you understand what we're talking about? Ain't no clowns. Talking about Chris Kringle, motherfucker, what? Eric Larson said, this is the way to throw out a tongue with the slimy ass motherfucking slobber all around. I don't understand what's going on, but we're gonna hit the town. PCP, cure for the sickness. How's everybody doing? We're gonna open up the Spawn figure. So I have a Spawn figure already on card, a nice card, and I never opened it. And now I got another one with a not so good card, and we're gonna open it. In fact, it's already kind of busted through. So I got this super cheap, and now we're officially taking it out of its package so I can have one of these motherfuckers loose. I got one loose. There's the comic book right there. I got one of these loose already with the like shoelace head variant, right? But now I will have a regular one. It's kind of he's only got one twisty tie. Something I do like about 90s figures. You know, Spawn Series 2 to 5, I don't recommend opening them. Series 1, solid figures, you can open them. They got cheaper. So this Spawn, there you go. Let me get that in there. His little chains with the skulls. Hell yeah. This is the figure they kind of redid for the Kickstarter, which I have as well. So there it is, y'all. Bruh! How fucking cool is that? He rules Grayskull now. Al Simmons, motherfuckers. Spawn! For the win. For the win. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Did I ever address the super chat? Tell us more about your chaos magic, and can you influence the universe to give me blessings or tidings like a prayer or something? All right. That's not quite how it works, but I'll tell you this. We have already, as PCP, with the help of Alex Winter, Keanu Reeves, Chris Matheson, and Ed Solomon, have created our own magical mantra, if you will. And this magical mantra, whenever we throw it out there, is 100% basically a prayer or something about giving blessings and tidings to each other. And that is station. As some people in the chat recognize. So we now pause for an official magical station identification. Everybody, really send this station out to Comic Toby. We got another unboxing. So last year, my homie Jelani got me a Christmas present, and he got me this stripe gremlin. Right? He gave me this. He's in Santa Claus gear. And I need some Christmas decoration around here. And I decided last year I would open this up this year around Christmas time. So here we go. Jelani, thank you so much, my man, for the gift. It is now being opened up. And I love that he comes with a little gizmo. So J-Strick got me the other stripe, which is actually right there. See it? Yeah. Don't have the gizmo yet. But I love that this stripe comes with a little gizmo. I was going to throw it, then I was like, I can't disrespect the gremlins like that. So it's the stripe dressed in a Santa Claus outfit. He's got a little gizmo with him. He's got a candy cane. He's got some kind of wizard cloak or some shit. And a... What is that all about? There's like this wizard cloak and a little rope to tie it around. Like, what the fuck is that all about? Interesting. Let's pull the little gizmo out first, man. Look at that, cute as hell. Fucking gizmo. Cute as hell, man. All right. I really want to get... Maybe it's not striped, but this is a gremlin. It looks like striped, though. Oh, Jesus. The hat and beard fucking come off. Jesus. It is striped, by the way. It's got shit tying it in, man. God damn it. All right, well, I can't quite get it all out right now, but we can confirm 100% that it is striped because Santa beard and hat came off. But we'll be opening that up soon. I want to get the carolers. The gremlin carolers. There's Gizmo, though. Gizmo's dope. All right. We done? No? All right, we're not done. Wait, are we? All right, we're not quite done. And yes, Jelani, you did get me that. And I just opened it. So I get these packages from Shit. I get these packages from Eagle Moss because I subscribe to this Star Trek hardcover collection. And I haven't even like paid attention to any of them for like the last couple months. So they've just been piling up. This is a rather large one. So it should probably have more than 2. Oh yeah. Toby, I've totally gained weight. Totally. Yeah. Try and change that. Shit. All right. Let's open this motherfucker up. So this is going to be a box of Star Trek hardcovers. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, 4 of them. All right, let's see what we got here. I've been collecting these things, and I got really I was really into it at first, and I was reading along with them, and the idea is that every Star Trek comic book printed up to a point will be collected in these hardcovers that make this like spine, like montage or whatever, right? And it was really cool at first, and then they started skipping me on some, but now they're filling in some of those gaps. So this is like volume 55. I'm in like the hundreds of volumes now. So it's cool to have this. This is a DS9 from Malibu Comics storyline. There's volume 54. Nice. They're going back and filling these in. That's really cool. That's Captain Kirk and the crew of the Enterprise return for an epic. Even the Gold Key stuff was reprinted in a lot of these. It's episode 53, which is Leonard Nimoy, Frontier Doctor. I remember reading that one. Leonard McCoy. I say Nimoy. And then there's DS9 Stowaway. That's volume 37. Fuck yeah. More Malibu. So yeah. Fuck yeah. I gotta do like a recollection of what actually I have, what I'm missing, making sure they're sending me the right ones. Anyway. We are out now, y'all. Thanks for rocking with us.